Hello and welcome everyone once again to PMPL Pakistan Spring Season 2023. I'm your host Anna Aiden, and with me today on desk is a very fresh face for a switch around. We have
Thank
Ehsan
you.
here with me. And well, Ehsan, how are you feeling this fine evening?
Yeah, so far you can say that it's evening. It's pretty much about to be like 3 hours before midnight, but feeling fantastic, pretty excited for the day. And PMPL Pakistan, as we all know, is just spiking up every day. It's the action is spiking up, and teams are feeling themselves, and that's the reason why I on the desk also feel myself. It's pretty enjoyable to see all these teams performing like this, and looking forward to the day so far.
Absolutely. Well, we'll just take a look at the overall schedule so that we know exactly what is going on and where we are in this whole journey. And today is the fourth day.
25th, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
fourth day of league stage week 1, and we have just one more day remaining for this week. And after that, we get to see tomorrow the last match of bonus, which is on Weekendy.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we,
Yeah.
have seen all these teams playing on Weekendy. So it'll be a fun thing to watch, and especially it will be a big treat to eyes of many. The ones, that are old fans of, especially all of these teams that are playing in this PMPL, and that, the new talent that is coming up, especially in this PMPL, teams like Seventh Element, Team 141, and teams like Negative Esports, would like to see what they have prepared for that particular match. But for that particular match, I believe so they have to qualify in, top 16 or at least top 12 teams to play that bonus match. But moving forward, guys, we have this big number on our screen. This is the total prize pool for PMPL Pakistan 2023, and the distribution, as we always discuss. But the key thing to have is the individual prize pool for the MVP, the most valiant, most valuable player, is $1,000. So fragging on the battlefield for yourself or your team eventually gonna pay out pretty good, and that's about $1,000.
Absolutely. And well, we do want to see which player comes out on top here, because right now this position seems like it is having a lot of contestants that are trying to eye for the
Yep.
MVP position. Exactly. And well, we do have a $1,750 for every single team in the league stage as well. So that's like a humongous prize pool nonetheless.
Absolutely. Again, attendance fee is there, but every team is eyeing for those 16 top spots in the finale, and that finale will eventually trigger the further prize pool, the massive chunks of dollars, I would say, Benjamins, that are coming the way, the teams that will perform accordingly. So the slight change, especially guys, in the bonus points, the new meta is introduced in PMPL, and this is bonus point on the weekly basis. Whatever the position you get in overall leaderboard, you will get points accordingly. Those points are awarded every week at the end of the week on your weekly ranking. Then we have the league play bonus points. So after 2 weeks of league play, you will get bonus points according to your overall standing, and furthermore, you will get both of these league bonus and weekly bonus, and eventually get a head start in the finale. But talking about this big change, this massive change, Ihana, I see it changed the whole game style. It changed the whole the way lobby was previously playing, making strategies. But this time around, when we have less placement points, more focus on the fragging, we are seeing some early skirmishes breaking in every now and then.
Absolutely, we are seeing a lot of aggression come in as well. There's abundant number of drop clashes happening as well, and I feel like that just makes the game more and more interesting for the viewers, because again, I mean, who wants to see teams just sit around and loot?
Yeah, the changes happened over last 2 years, in especially the point system, were more of something in demand from the audiences. Audiences don't want to see these players roaming around for 20 minutes and eventually the fights breaking in, and you have no idea which to cover, which to not. So now, where we have this system where it is more focused toward fragging, so teams are not wasting time, they're taking their chances, and eventually some of them are getting value out of it, some of them are leaving for the lobby, discussing what they where they went wrong. So I'm pretty much liking this, because this way you have a fair chance. If you have good fragging power, even you get eliminated earlier, still you will have a fair chance to get like average of 8 to 10 points. But talking about this overall ranking, guys, Seventh Element, they are not slowing down. They have pace, pretty much picked up the pace on day 2, and continued it further on day 3. But on the second page, especially 17, 18, and 19 and 20th place, and I see like these teams are struggling pretty bad, and it's not good to see Team Star down there on 19th spot.
Absolutely, it's not looking good for the teams, and they really have to, pick up their pace and make sure that they're carrying their weight. Because again, there are a lot of teams that unexpectedly show up on the chicken dinner, and I am seeing a lot of teams, buck up, but it's gonna be too late if they don't start now. Like it's already been a couple of days, it's a lot at stake already. You have to be able to perform every single day to be able to have your names up there, and the last few positions are literally going to push you out of the grand finals nonetheless. So there's a lot at stake, there's a lot to fight for, and our teams really need to figure that out and work towards it. But yes, I did see great performance coming in from the side of North Esports in one match yesterday, which I was really really happy with. But then that was just that one match after all.
North Esports, they're just looking for that momentum, which is much needed from their side. There are many fresh faces coming in North Esports this season, and finding that momentum at the right time is the key. Especially North Esports don't want to lose their spot in PMPL. They have to somewhat qualify for the finale, because top 16 teams every year, they get a chance to play in next PMPL season. But the teams that will eventually won't be able to qualify, they have to go through that rigorous path again, qualifying through PMNCs from other different third-party tournaments. But on our screen, we had Aegon XI8, day 1 versus day 3. So as we were discussing even behind the scenes previously, like Aegon XI8, they have a lot to prove to their fans. The way they used to play, especially in previous PMPL seasons, this time around 3 days, day 1 was pretty good, kind of, you can say that above average, but since day 2 it's not working out for them.
Absolutely, and they have a lot to hold on for, because like this, they are the defending champions nonetheless.
Yeah.
They won the last season, and moreover, here's something that I noticed. So before the whole series even started, like 27 hours before the first video was about to go live, I just checked the stream, and there was a person who had already commented, and it was for Agon XI8. So it's like they have a huge fandom which is standing up for them, and if they do not step up their game, it might not look as good. It will be breaking a lot of hearts.
Yeah, but it's part of the game eventually. Sometimes things work out for you, sometimes don't. I feel like Aegon Exide is trying new things, and this change in point structure is kind of not helping them out with the placement points and everything. They have that aggressive side, they have that fracking power, but looking at this, seems like they have to change a few things for themselves.
Absolutely, they will have to make sure that they are, stepping up their right foot forward. And well, talking about right foot forward, we have a, specific video for all the viewers sitting home in Pakistan, because it's a celebration we all want to, put our hands in. So let's just take a look at that.
नहीं यार, आज गेम नहीं खेल सकता।
अहमद,
आ रहा हूँ मम्मी।
हाथ बढ़ाने से, साथ निभाने से, उम्मीद बांटने से खुशियाँ घटती नहीं बस बढ़ती है। वही देता है वही सुनता है, जब भी दोगे तुम सदा।
So guys, this Ramazan, make sure you squad up with your friends and lend your support and play to win the hearts for everyone, because this is the time to share. This is the time to share your blessings with others, and this Ramazan will make sure with PUBG Mobile that this message go across, across the board, and you guys have this, harmony and sacrificial, belief. So moving forward, couldn't put words in place, but moving forward, we have PMPL this day 4, talking about the schedule of the day. We have slight changes, especially in the maps, and the biggest change is we won't be seeing any second Miramar today. We have 3 Erangels, and at the end of the day, we have the fast-paced map Sanhok. So yesterday we started with the Sanhok, now we are ending today with Sanhok. So as we were talking about this earlier as well, Ayana, Group E is not playing in the first match. As we know, Seventh Element is there in that group. So Seventh Element, they have kind of the same 4 map series like day 2, So are
Yeah.
you expecting the same kind of results from them as well?
Well, I'm hoping for them to rule Erangel. They already did yesterday, so I'm, aiming for that. They have acquired themselves a huge lead, though, so I do want to see other teams step up and compete with them because, again, we do not want to see a very clear winner from the start itself because that just takes away from the whole, nail biting situations
Yeah.
where you're just anticipating which team it's gonna be.
Yeah, this kind of story happened with Magnus Esports previous
Yeah.
season, and I don't want to see Seventh Element's fate going that direction because it wasn't a good end for Magnus Esports, and same for Team Meteorshot X Sky. They were kind of going through the same phase. They were dominating. They had good number of chicken dinners under their belt, and eventually, when the final came in, it was all the way around, and Aegon X they were just dominating across the board. So I wish Seventh Element they just keep the momentum up, keep things going. Just don't gas out because eventually the main prize pool and the PMWI slot is there in the finale. So league stages, you have to practice your strategies. You have to work on things that you feel like your team is weak with. So once you're good with and you're confident in your gameplay, it's time to rock in finale eventually, Anna. And finale is the real stage for all of these teams.
Absolutely. And well, I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us because things have been changing left and right all these days. Like, there was this one point we saw Agon XI8 and Team Negatives take a fight in Los Leones on Miramar. And then the next time, Negatives knew that this is not going to work out. So when Agon XI8 was taking their drop on Los Leones, they just, stepped back. And the next time when they knew that Agon XI8 is not playing that map, they just went for Los Leones again. So like there's a lot of switch ups which are happening. Teams have somehow realized what position they are in right now and what fights they can take, what fights they cannot. However, I'm still waiting to see a couple of teams try to step up a little because the last four they are hard stuck right now. Hard stuck.
Yeah, especially if we look at the situation of HellRaisers. HellRaisers, their IGL, Adnan, this guy is packed with experience and he knows game more than any of these guys playing in the lobby. But still, the rest of the players, they aren't available to communicate effectively to eventually, go for those final circles, go for those final frags and finishing things up. But we hope this day will be slightly different for teams that you mentioned are kind of hard stuck at the bottom, especially moving forward from 17th onward to 20th spot. But we have our first map of the day, and Erangel, as we see, is kind of a classic map. And every team, their main strategies, their basic strategies are kind of formulated on this map, so we can expect anything out of this. But I'm looking at plane path kind of a diagonal, cutting the whole map into 70-30, more of favoring toward northwestern side. South side, Sanhok Military Island, slightly harder to reach, but we can't say we cannot reach on time. But the main focus for me in this particular map is the first circle, because it will decide the fate of many teams, especially the teams that will be out of it and eventually struggling to get a spot inside.
Absolutely. Right now, I do see HellRaisers have opted for a different drop spot this time. They generally do go to Novoripnoi, but this time they're not going to opt for that. However, Agon XI8, it seems like they're just going to go ahead and, glide all the way to make sure that they reach military base because that's exactly where they like to have their drops. They like to collect their loots. And, well, the circle is definitely going to favor them, but I just feel like it's going to be way long before they're able to hit the ground.
Yeah, as we can see, the teams that are gliding towards south, especially closer to Ferry Pier farm area, Sosnova Community Island, it's going to take some time. And the main struggle is to find the vehicles on time. Now the clock is ticking, and the peace of mind for Aegon XI8, Team Negative Esports, Team Magnus Esports is that they're pretty much situated in the circle. They don't have to move much in the initial phases of the game. But on the northern side, we are seeing some early skirmishes breaking down between Team H2E and Team BABLU. This is something I wasn't expecting. H2E shouldn't be around BABLU at this time. They should have chose a certain part of northern city for the loot, but it's part of the game. Sometime when you get a little greedy, you come across players, and it's a 50-50 situation. Any of you will win the duel, and your team eventually will cut for the loss in the initial phases of the game. So BABLU, let's see if they would be able to complete this kill, complete this frag for themselves, and we'll have a good start, especially in this very first match of the day.
Well, absolutely. And I myself feel like, specifically on the maps which are lush green on this, whole map pool that we have, it's just that these maps do have lesser land area, and that provides lesser play area to people as well. That certainly results in teams surviving with either all fours or, like, way down below to like twos or ones towards the last circles, and that just makes it very, very difficult for a team who has gone through early eliminations on their side to actually make it to a chicken dinner. However, on Miramar, I do feel like a lot of teams do lose a man or two on their teams early on itself and still not face a lot of danger for themselves, because Miramar is just a map where you have way too long range fights that just cause you to lose a person, but then you can always trade it off and not invest other players in that fight.
Yeah, but the Rage network really helps you to survive, because even if it's an open circle, you will have plenty of space to just creep yourself into the circle, and that's kind of helping. And I pretty agree with you on this point. And talking about this particular map and Sanhok, even if you're a duo, it's not a good thing for you, and eventually you'll be thrashed by the squads that have like their 4 men up. But
Exactly.
in case of Erangel, you need support all the time. There are many places on Erangel. If you're on rotation, you can get those surprises, which are not good most of the times, and eventually it costs you a player. And if you don't have a proper support player behind you, it will be hard for your team to revive you up and get you ready for the battle again. So they have to be careful, especially early losses. Once you have 3 players, or once you have like 2 players surviving, it's just a game of survival for you. You can't go for like full-fledged fights anymore. You can't go for that aggressive stance to eventually punish your enemies for all their wrongdoings. But let's see what teams have for them planned for us for this day, especially teams on the bottom side. They are the ones in the spotlight at this moment, because they are the ones whose fans are waiting anxiously for their comeback. And being a kind of a guy who likes to root for the underdogs, I would like to see these guys playing well today.
Absolutely. I definitely have big hopes for a lot of teams today, not just Agonex or, Seventh Element. But yes, very well, framed from your side. Like, it definitely is very important to have a lot of people on your team surviving towards rotation times, and specifically considering the fact that the first person to get injured was from the side of H2E, who are all the way in Georgia Paul, which is going to be a long rotation coming back into military base to make sure that they are inside the circle. That was a really risky fight that they invested in themselves in. However, I feel like they did withdraw from it in time to be able to recover their men, because I still see 64 players remaining. There haven't been
Yes.
any casualties so far. So yeah, but like, you do want to make sure that you don't invest in aggressive fights which are not going to result in your favor, specifically if you are that far away from the circle, because the circle is not going to be any forgiving. It has zero mercy, and I've seen people get lost to the blues so quickly. It's
Yeah.
worse than the bullets.
It does, and it's one of the worst feeling in the game, because now you didn't get a chance to actually participate in a proper fight,
Yeah.
and you just lost your life for nothing. And
Yep.
again, it's not something good to experience, especially at the start of the day. So H2E, they managed to get their players back up, which I would say Refuse wasn't anxious enough to confirm his frag, confirm his elimination, and which gave H2E a chance to revive their play in the initials. So I'm pretty sure today, this Erangel, there will be a slow start. For first few stages, especially till the stage 4, we won't be seeing much of the skirmishes. Yeah, there is a possibility we can see teams, surprising other teams on the rotation, cutting them in between, and eventually, regenerating some value, picking few frags on the way. But beside that, I'm not seeing any, aggressive pushes or any aggressive full-fledged squad-to-squad fights in the initial phases of the game. But let's see. Teams are on the rotation. Meanwhile, if we talk about teams, as we were mentioning earlier, that are looking for that momentum, it's a very important match for them, because once you start a day on a high note, things somehow start working for you, and the team, the way you synergize together, it's a different feel. And if you get the momentum in the first match, what else can go better for you in a day?
Absolutely. I feel like that's exactly what our teams are going to be eyeing at. And talking about the aggression, talking about the skirmishes, coming on across the map, I feel like the teams are going to be having lesser and lesser aggression going, upwards towards the overall leaderboard, because the ones at the bottom, they really have nothing to lose at this point, because they've been on a loss side for a really long time. They do want to make sure that they're getting enough frags to be able to compensate for the points that they lose in positions. However, I feel like the ones that are on top do really want to make sure that they're surviving longer. Because, like, if I was in the player's mentality, if I was playing this game and I was, let's say, on position 20, because that I think that's exactly where I would be. If I started there, I would know that, see, I have zero chance surviving against the teams that actually make it to the
Yep.
last circle. So I would just want to take all the fights I can in the beginning itself and make sure that I have a few frag points instead of waiting for the position ones. However, if by any chance, by any god's
Yeah.
grace, I was anywhere in the top 5, I would want to hold back a little and make sure that I collect all the survival points possible and make sure all my players are alive till the end of the game.
I totally agree, because once you're on the top, you don't want to miss that feel of being on the top,
Yeah.
And eventually you start calculating your risk, and sometimes you just don't react to the things the way you used to react before you were, lower on the overall leaderboard. But as you were mentioning, I don't think so. The kind of mentality HR has right now, because HR, what they have experienced in the past for themselves, this is a worse experience for them, and I don't want them to be there for a long time, because this way it will eventually translate into their fights. They won't have confidence to go for those 4 versus 4s, and it won't look good on them. But talking about this particular fight between Team QR and Team QWERTY, Quantum Rage are the first one to deal the damage, especially one of their players is down, I guess. So I just witnessed it in one of the pictures in the previous scene. But QWERTY Voltrix, he's just in open. He's looking for that chance where he can punish another player of QR, and QR is kind of more split, and Blue Zone on the other side is also pushing them. But kill feed, we have TG Sad Boy taking one down from Negative Esports. Team QR Spark is on his knees, and I believe so the kill will be confirmed, and there is no chance that Team Q are gonna revive both of these guys. Senior is also down, and Team QR is losing 2 of their players on rotation, and we have our first elimination of the match as well. So Khan, previously Top G, now he's OG69, and he is making Team QR to pay for cutting in between their rotation, and now QR is kind of in a handicap situation. But on the close side, we are seeing TFD rotating from the same side as well. It's kind of a risky play for Team TFD, I would say, because seeing in the past, Team QWERTY is way better playing on this Potato Hill section, especially the southern side of the Potato Hill.
Absolutely, I do completely agree to that. And well, it would be bold of me to go ahead and say this right now, but I'm just gonna do it. The fact that Quantum Rage already lost 2 players, that just means they are not making it. Even if the opponent team has like only 2 players remaining, even if they make it to the last circle, Quantum Rage isn't making it, because that's just something I've noticed about this team. The moment they start losing players, they just go way back into the backseat, and it's just very passive, and it has never turned out well for them. Like, they do have 2 chickens on Miramar, if I'm not wrong, and both of the
Yep.
times they had to make sure that all 4 of their players were surviving, and they always do the same thing. They never take eliminations in the first few circles. In the last stage, they will suddenly come out of nowhere and take like 15 eliminations altogether, and that's just very weird, but it's what works for them.
Yeah, it does work for them. And QR, their team like to play as a squad, and most of their successes, as you mentioned, come through when they're 4 men up. They have 4 of their players surviving. But in the kill feed, we are seeing Team TG versus Team Freestyle. On the other side, Team Aegon XI8, they are pretty close to getting into a fight against Team BABLU. That utility will just deafen Team BABLU for a while, and this will give it a chance to Aegon XI IGL Uzum to escape to rejoin his team. But on the other side, these early skirmishes we were expecting, but now giving out this kind of an aggressive stance to Team Aegon XI. Now they're gonna wait for them across the bridge, and Team BABLU, I'm pretty sure not going to take the chances of crossing, but in the kill feed we are seeing those casualty happening. Team QWERTY versus Team Star. Now Team QWERTY is just stucking themselves in between fights, especially we saw against Team QR. Now on the rotate a few players from Team Star as well, which is not a good scene for Team Star. Team Star, the ones they're already struggling and losing their players in the initial, not going to work out for them now. But on the other side we have Vortex versus Miracle and Top G versus Team Star Destroyer. So Destroyer on the other side taking down Team QWERTY's Top G. Team QWERTY already lost 2 of their players to Star. They have those 3 kills in their backpack, but Volters is the final player surviving, and now this is the time where Star is going to capitalize. One player is down, Zyroge is down, and Miracle will eventually take one down, but Hunter stealing that kill, and Team Star, their elimination got snatched right in front of their eyes. Another one down. Goldtrix getting the kill of Zyroge, but it will also take down the final player of Team Star. And yeah, we have to say this, the final player just lost his life to the play zone. This is how brutal it gets when there is a third party in between. But yeah, 2 of the teams leaving for the lobby in just a few minutes of start of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the game as well, that you really have to respect the zone. It literally shows zero mercy, and there it was, like Star did get a save, like they did get a chance at life again once Team QWERTY was eliminated, but then the zone just struck onto them and they could not survive. So it's just like, I mean, you could have all the help you need, but then you cannot fight the zone. You cannot struggle through it if you have low HP. You need to make sure that you're not getting stuck in those positions in the first place. However, looking back at the map, it feels like Aegon XI8 is not sticking to the map and guarding the bridge anymore. Yeah, I did feel like that was going to be one of the places where they are going to be able to collect a few frags for themselves. They generally have a very good strat at holding the bridge. They do have people watching the bridge, but then they have people watching the person watching the bridge, which is like a very well made strat. But then the fact that the zone has pushed them out of that zone, it just makes me feel like they are going to have a harder run towards elimination counts.
Yeah, this time around, this shift especially is gonna dictate a lot for Team Aegon XI. They have to move fast. They might be able to pick few frags, especially on Team Magnus, as we can see in the mini map. But eventually, they have to move toward the likes of Team TG, Team BABLU, which are pretty much occupying the premium locations in the center. Negative Esports, I must say, all the kind of strats these guys are pulling, they are right in the dead center, and they have a fair chance to survive. Now, if they eventually not lose most of their players, they can make it to the final circles. But seeing the situation is getting nasty for most of these guys out there. It's getting tough for them to hold on to their positions, because every now and then there's a new neighbor coming next door, and things are not working out and things are not going well. And as we can see, this particular shift, it made few teams to just jump in the water, which is not a good sight and good place to take a fight from. And that's what Team Aegon XI is taking much of the value out of. We see Magnus Esports, the final player, surviving. Foster, I believe he's also knocked out. He will bleed out eventually. But let's see how far Team Magnus gonna go, and they have denied all of their kills. There you go. Magnus is out of the game on 13th spot, and Team Magnus, without even getting a single kill, leave for the lobby. On the other side, Team HR also struck in the water. So yep, Team Freestyle and Team Aegon XI, they decided to fish for those kills.
Well, absolutely they did. And well, freestylers do need a lot of help right here, because 1, they're fighting the zone, 2, they are struggling on the leaderboard as well. Even though Aegon XI8 has dropped down quite a bit, I feel like they do have the potential of coming back up soon. So let's see how that goes. But yes, this is gonna be a death call for North Esports.
Yeah, Northeast Sports, Aegon XIA dealing some knocks on Northeast Sports, but the kills are going in the tally of Team TG. The grounders are picking those kills, but NES leaving with two of their players pretty split up. I believe it's time NES Arif will eventually get knocked down with the utility being traded from the players of Team Aegon XIA. Aegon, it's time to push forward, and there you go, the final player. Iron already been taken out, and Arif was just brutally, pinched under the car, and it's not a good way to leave, but this is how it is. And Team Aegon XIA increasing their kill tally to their elimination tally to 5 for themselves. 5 points in the initial of the game at stage 4 only. We still have to go 5 more zones, and having this kind of numbers eventually show that Team Aegon XIA will aggregate few more for themselves. But 3x they have 7 in their backpack, another one I believe so. Come back, getting more and more value out of water. We saw Freestyle picking few kills on HR, but now Team 3x, they have 8 eliminations in their backpack, and possibly one more. The guy who is already in the waters, in the deep waters, I would rather say.
Yeah.
There's no way of coming out, but there you go. Another one down, Team HR. They were just waiting for that right match, right time, but it's not happening yet.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, it's a hard day for XGeneration, it seems, because like since yesterday, their momentum has slowed down quite a bit. The first couple of days, they were doing astoundingly well. They had no chickens, but they were still, leading the leaderboard at the top position, uncontested completely. But then look at them yesterday and look at them today. It's not even looking like we're seeing the same few players going in from that team. It's just very heartbreaking. However, there it is. Aegon XIA, as you said, they are going on collecting more and more frags to their name, and that's going to be the elimination of the grounders completely off the map.
Yeah, the final player is out, but I would really appreciate how Team Tough planned everything out for themselves. They are coming in late now. Every fisherman is away from the coast, and they will, eventually get a foot on the dry land. But let's see how far they'll go. Aegon XIA, they have their attention on them, and this will eventually translate worse for Team Tough. Team Tough yesterday, they had very good matches, few of them, but some of the problems that I'm seeing continuously with these big names are they are not able to maintain their consistency in the matches, and I want to see them doing so. But Team BABLU, Team Aegon XIA, 2 big names right next door, and this tussle eventually gonna break down between both of these teams. As we know, the kind of track record Team Aegon XIA have, they don't like to have noisy neighbors right next door. So Team BABLU, yeah, pretty much in this very situation, I must say Aegon XIA, they have the upper hand. 4 versus 3, most of the time doesn't go well until unless there is any miracle being pulled off from any of the players from the lagging squad. But 3x right next door, if the skirmish breaks in, if the fight breaks in full-fledged, more of 3x and Negative Esports will be getting these kills from Team BABLU and Team Aegon XIA.
Absolutely. But however, I do gotta commend Negative Esports and HellRaisers to actually make it to the top of the leaderboard, at least for this match. But again, they do not have any frag points to themselves, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to collect any either, considering the man count that they're running with. But yeah, the more they survive, they do have a shot at least collecting the placement points that can help them bump up a little, because these teams are lagging way far behind, as we saw earlier. However, 3x finally showing up again into the game the way they used to, with complete aggression and complete control of the game as far as their gameplay is considered. However, Aegon XIA and 3x seem to be the topmost contenders, not only on the board, but also according to their history in the games.
Look at this.
And well, yeah, exactly. You were right to say that.
Neighbors, we are coming in. This is not the right side. Palak taking down BABLU Pen. It's a 2v3 situation. Another one possibly going down. Teen Wolf trying to get some value with this DP28, but eventually won't be helping. 3x joining into the mix, and that's where we will be seeing the demise of Team BABLU eventually losing out all of their players. But in the process, third party taking down one player from Aegon XI8. Falak, the front end fragger, is out of the game, being flushed out properly. But Negative Esports versus 3x, that backstab we weren't expecting, but this time around Team Aegon XI8 and 3x, they are just finishing up with their with what they started. Negative Esports is out of the game, Team BABLU is out of the game, and we are down to last 5 teams, 12 players remaining. And still, I'm seeing 3 players of Team Tough trying to look for that dry patch for themselves, step up and start joining the battlefield. But it's gonna be slightly late for themselves to show up to the party. But the 3x on the other side now ready for Aegon XI8, and this time around I must say Aegon XI8 have that upper edge. Once if any of the players of Team Aegon is down, is done and dusted for them, and that's what we are seeing. Team 3x are above, taking down Uzum. So it's 2 versus 4, and 3x possibly is the contender to eventually win the chicken dinner in this particular match. Iana.
I do believe that completely. HellRaisers have been eliminated as well, and I feel like Tough is not even playing the same game. They are literally playing Mermaid Simulator, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been swimming since a while.
Yeah, pretty tough swimmers, I must say, and that's what we're seeing in the picture.
Absolutely. Those limbs gotta be strong. Very strong. And well, right now it looks like the aim from the side of No Comeback is super strong. They have already managed to make dead.
Yep, and that's what we're seeing. Aegon XI, final player, is leaving for the forest, leaving for the woods, and there's no way to go. Blue zone is eventually gonna creep into the mix, and that's where things will get worse, and you will eventually die for nothing. But I believe so. Team 3x, they will go for that witch hunt and will capture Aegon XI8. IQ, the final remaining player, things can turn around. This guy can eventually strike back and make things different for Team 3x. If 3x lose either of their players, this will be difficult for them against Team Tough. But while I was mentioning Team Tough, the mermaids are out of the water. It's time for the sailors to pick few of them, and Team Tough, Thor is on his knees. Edgar is the final player surviving, and we are down to last 9 surviving players. Edgar, final one standing from Team Tough. Dogger is on his knees. Aegon XI8, we are seeing solo survivor IQ, but IQ tried to just capture anything while just leaving for the lobby, but No Comeback said that's not a good idea to start with, and eventually taking down IQ. So top 3 teams, we have Team Tough, Team XG, Thor on the other side taking down Kira. 3x just getting another knock from Thor. Thor have a very good position, but this position is pretty compromised. Zarbaf and Cairo, both of them are looking their way, and on the other side Edgar also down on his knees and is pretty open. We can see it is for Team 3x just closing it out, and now Thor is also taking damage. Psycho is also in the picture, which can eventually play a role in backstabbing. But yep, tough swimmers are out, but we have one of them which is way tougher than all of them, and that's Psycho. Final survivor. He will come up, give his ghost to the players of 3x. 1 kill confirmed, while the guys waiting for the revive. Psycho will pick one for his team, and XG with 6 placement points, 1 elimination, I guess so, 2 eliminations because they picked 1 player from the start. They have like an average 8 points match for themselves. 3x winning it handsomely with 16 eliminations in their backpack, and that's what a kind of an ideal start every team look for at the start of the day.
Absolutely. I feel like it was long awaited from the side of 3x. They were doing really good a couple of days. Yesterday was a bad day for them, so this was a good way to compensate and come back in the game for them. However, Psycho, I guess he is still going to be spotted by 3x itself and turn their elimination numbers all the way to 17, making it a 27-point victory for them. And there it is, exactly that.
This guy was playing 100%. This guy was playing it then. But yeah, 17 eliminations. Winner chicken dinner goes to Team 3x. I would say 3 times. Yep, 3x, 3 times, whatever you call it. But that's the winner chicken dinner for the first match of the day. And the young talent just putting their banners up. And the first match is aced by Team 3x. Handsomely done, pretty clinical performance, I would say. And this match, especially these 27 points, will boost 3x position up to the second spot, capturing it from Magnus Esports, which lost all of their players while rotating to the military island. So look at these happy faces, I must say. A good combination. Previously 3x, they were struggling with few things, you know, the finishing touches, but this season 3x, they are just feeling themselves. So guys, we will be leaving for a short break. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back. Welcome back,
Yes.
guys. After this short promo break, it's not a full-fledged break, but Ayana, it was a wonderful match, and we were
Nonetheless.
expecting someone else to come on top, but 3x had different plan for us and for all the audiences out there.
Absolutely. And well, I am not at all disappointed. Like, I'm happy to see them win because they're one of the teams I was rooting for really hard. And seeing them come up again just made me feel even more strongly for them. So, yeah, I mean, 3x, 7th Element, XGeneration, they're all on my radar. I feel like they all are going to be a part of a great game coming up, not only for the bonus matches, but also towards the grand finals.
Yep, 3x pretty, I can say they well deserve this position. And since day 2, things weren't going well for them, but at the start of the day, if you get a chicken dinner, the confidence is skyrocketed already. And
Absolutely.
now let's see how they will carry it forward in the coming matches, because we get to see these, especially talking about Erangels. We have 3 Erangels today, so there's a fair chance for 3x to grab another chicken dinner on the way till the final match. So yeah, just again, as you were rooting for them, now I'm also in the same carriage alongside you, and we are rooting for 3x. But the way 3x did that third party in BABLU versus Aegon Excite fight, it eventually fortified their position to eventually go for that chicken dinner. But talking about the MVP, we have Miracle, no comeback, with the 6 eliminations, 938 damage, only 375 healing done. I guess he got knocked out like twice throughout the game. Then 5 assists. This is a big number. While with 6 elimination, he managed to give 5 assists to the team as well, with 6 knockouts in 24 minutes of survival. So we didn't see the 9th or 8th phase of the game. So the moment things turned towards the Snovaka military island, that's where everything started falling apart for most of the teams that were on the main island, I guess so.
Absolutely. And I feel like I was actually, expecting Ionex to win this one out because, again, military base is their drop location, and every single time the map has favored that, circle area. It has always been a southern circle on Erangel since yesterday. Not once have we seen a different thing happen on that map. They still managed to not step up. However, pretty proud of the ones that did.
Yeah, but it's a big statement from the side of 3x, because the way pretty early they rotated to that location where they get all these eliminations for themselves, and at the same time they defend the whole thing. Especially Team Tough, they try to creep in. Team Negative Esports were already there, but they couldn't do much out of it, and they also managed to clean out much of the mess. But talking about this match summary, we have highest eliminator, highest damage, highest assist going to one dude, that's Miracle, and the highest healing done by Cairo. Cairo used to be the gunslinger for his previous teams, also for 3x, but somewhat things are now working out for for him this season. But I hope things will go good for him, and eventually he will step up to the mix and start delivering more value to the squad. But talking about this particular match ranking, 27 points, and see the difference. It's Team Aegon XI8 and 3x, the guys who had the land for themselves. They were the one just getting all these eliminations of themselves.
Absolutely. And well, the first few teams itself grab so many eliminations that the other teams, the ones trailing all the way behind, have literally nothing. No placement points, no elimination points, nothing that's going on for them. And that just puts, again, the same few teams at the very bottom. We are seeing Magnus come all the way down from a really high peak, but again, team negatives, the faulty devils, all just, low rangers still staying at the lower side of it.
Yeah, but most of these teams, they even didn't get a chance to fight, one on one with any of the opposition teams. Most of these guys were just going for that swimming contest we saw till the end of the match. But this is how it is. Either the way, you have to go through the bridge, and if a bridge is not an option, you have to just wait for that misery that is eventually going to break down on you. But let's see what of this match, what kind of effect we have after this match on the overall ranking, because we saw after the win of 3x is now on the second spot. But what else we have to see, especially Magnus Esports, just 3 points beside 3x. That's not much of a difference. And we are also seeing XGeneration on 4th spot. So getting to the second place, it really helped XGeneration to creep up a little bit, Ayana.
It did, it very well did. But like, here's the most interesting thing of the whole leaderboard. The team leading hasn't even played today yet.
Yes.
And the difference is huge. It's a 26-point difference. They literally have a wiggle room of going into a game and doing nothing, because there's hardly teams that get to 26 or 27 points of chicken. And it's gonna be even more, unexpected for it to be, 3x Esports one more time, because then that's the only way they lose their throne. If 3x Esports goes in, gets 27 points one more time, and 7th Element does nothing, literally dies at nada, zero.
Nothing. And
That's
so
very
so
rare.
far, yeah, it's very rare, and something we can't expect. The way 7th Element been playing previous 3 days, it's very rare that they don't get any of the kills, any of the elimination points. But things are not good for teams like the Faulty Devils, Team Negatives, Team Star, Team HellRaisers. For HellRaisers especially, 13 matches, 29 points, which is an average of around 2.25, something like that, every match, and which is way below the average. Because if you're in this kind of point structure, if you're managing around 6 to 8 points, I wouldn't say 8 points, 6 points each map, you're eventually doing way better than most of your contenders. So you have to keep an eye on that 6 points every match. But for HellRaisers, somehow things are not working out. Even in this particular match, they were the ones got fished out of the waters, cold waters of Erangel. But moving forward, we have more matches, and the next map we are going to jump on, it's kind of the track record of HR is not good on Miramar as well. But I'm hoping to see slight changes in the performance overall.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our teams were swimming for a really long time, so it's only fair that we send them all the way to Miramar to dry themselves up, because hot
Yeah, it's
desert
pretty
for
out
them.
there, yes.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so it is what it is.
yep. Well, we'll take a look at the schedule one more time so that we know how far behind or how far ahead we are of the timeline. I'm not gonna be able to see that very well because I have to literally calculate times and switch it to the zone. So I'll throw that to you, Ehsan.
So yeah, we have like only a few minutes left before we jump into our second map, and the few changes that we're gonna see is Group D is will be sitting on the benches, and it's Group E's time to jump in and show what they got. Especially we are eyeing on Team 7th Element, because right now they have the top position, they're the king of the hill, and they have to just keep themselves on top. The kind of lead they have, as Ehana you were mentioning as well, even if they don't do anything in this particular match, there's still it's a very rare chance that someone will eventually catch up and eventually dethrone them from the first spot. But let's see what 7th Element have more for us in the back, because every now and then they have a new trick, they have the new strategy. Yesterday we witnessed few of them, but I believe 7th Element have a lot to show, a lot to prove on the battlefield. But any random picks, because this is something, this kind of game I play with my other casters on the other broadcasts as well. Who do you think just randomly pick is gonna win this match?
Well, okay, so even though we are rooting for Seventh Element, I don't think this is going to be their map.
Yeah.
Anyways, because they generally do want to make sure that they do good on Erangel. And even yesterday, after two chickens, they took a break. They took a literal break and let one game just go by. So I feel like they might just take the break in this map or the last one. So this is definitely not theirs. Uh, but I do think Egon XI8 will have a great chance here. One, they are doing really good. Two, their drop location is a very hefty city nonetheless. And they do get
Yep.
some of the best loots on Los Leones, even though it's going to be quite a glide this time.
Yeah, the biggest city on the map, Los Leones, and it gives you great options no matter which side of the map the first play zone is. You have an extensive road network to use, especially if you want to go on the western side. You have the big road starting from Los Leones to Montenuevo, eventually to El Pozo. Moving on the eastern coast, you have another 4 good road networks starting from Los Leones toward Impala and eventually getting to LSR. So there is no problem, especially for teams that are dropping in proximity of Los Leones. But I want to see, especially with this kind of playing path, some of the early fights, the kind of disputes for the ownership of the vehicles left on the ground, because that's where the things get slightly spicy for these teams. There are multiple claimers for one vehicle, and that's the only way to claim your ownership is to through what you call it, trial by blood or something like that.
Yeah.
We used to have it in gladiators. So this is the only option, and this time around we don't have any swords. Yeah, eventually maybe some pistols and some guns to trade things out. But circle, pretty placed, center. Can't say where it's gonna end eventually, but so far many of these teams will be happy with this particular play zone.
Well, that's true, because the major chunk of the map is already inside the circle, and it's definitely going to be very easy to rotate to as well, considering the fact that it's not wavered towards anything. Like, it's a little southern, but most of the central area is still inside and easily reachable. I feel like the teams going all the way to like La Cobreria or Campo Militar, they are the ones where I could have expected a battle for the vehicles, but it just seems like they're going to be solo teams, so it won't matter that much. But here it is, a drop clash between 141 and
Goodness.
52 Esports. It happened yesterday as well, and a couple of teams came in for the third party and the fourth party. Let's see how many they attract this time.
Oh, good one. This guy was struggling with that R48 pistol, and now he has a Scarel, and things not gonna work good for 141 player. And I believe it is I guess 141's Myth, or yeah, it's Myth. And there you go, first knock of the day for our Miramar fans, and pretty flushed out right away, not taking any chances. Especially Chotu not gonna take any chances. But on the other side, we have 3x, no comeback. The guy is not stopping since last map, and he managed to get one for himself at the start of the match as well. So we're seeing some early skirmishes breaking in, especially not expecting those teams to cross their paths for each other. But Freestyle and Negative Esports, this is not a good picture for Negative Esports to being on the right side of the kill feed.
Absolutely. Their picture is still in the negatives and developing. I just want them to be developed very, very, very quickly. It's too late now. But like, yeah, I love the choice of vehicle coming in from the side of 3x. Now they have enough space in their back to stack all the dead bodies that they keep making all across the map. It's going to be a good loading space for them. I mean, it's a huge vehicle. It's too big.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess the bodies are getting shifted into crates, they're already packed.
Yeah.
Just leave it for the vultures out there. Have some regard.
Yeah, I mean, true. You're already taking
joke
all
aside.
the frags. Then you want to take the loot as well. No, don't.
You got the loot. This is Wild West for you. You're already taking the loot. You have everything what you want. What you gonna do with that body? So just leave it there for the vultures.
Yep.
Let it decompose. Let it be a food of the nobles. So, so
Okay.
joke aside, Team Negative Esports down to their 2 players, Shahid and Pinkman. It will be easy for other teams to spot a Pinkman among this dryness. So, I guess Negative Esports gonna lose another player as well. Freestyle is looking for that player. They kind of can smell that player in their close proximity, and this is the place where Team Freestyle likes to loot. And being here, being right next door is not a good sight, not a good thing to have. And Negative Esports have to learn things quickly, especially on these extensive maps. This is not where you lose your players initially. You have plenty of space, you have a lot of places to go. It's not to loot right next door to a full-fledged squad, and things are not working out for them. We see Negative Esports player, he's just waiting for that time when Freestyle just abandoned this crash site, and he will eventually go and meet his other friend out there across the map. But look at this, this guy, his senses are tingling. He just want to spray that Uzi,
Spidey
but
senses.
yeah, Spidey senses. But once one bullet will get out of that Uzi, it'll be few of your last ones on this map. But yeah, this guy is intelligent one, I would say. Negative Esports, everything to lose, nothing to gain. 2 players are out, and it's time to just go for that survival strat, you know?
Yep. I mean, I can give it to Negative Esports that okay, this is not the preferred drop location of the team. They did come here just because of the fact that their preferred drop location is already acquired by Agonexite, and that's a fight they do not want to pick. But then again, you gotta make sure if you're entering someone else's house, you gotta be prepared for the fight, because nobody's gonna let you just in that easily. And right now, what am I seeing? Are both the players from the side of Negative Esports in 2 complete
Yep.
different cities?
Yeah, but one is right outside Los Leones, where Shahid always drops, because this split strategy sometimes it does work, does works its wonders for this squad, but sometimes it fire backs, and this time around it is the later case. They weren't expecting Freestyle to just go this aggressive on them, and they lost 2 of their players, but it is what it is, you know. And Team Negative Esports, they have to come up with a strategy where all of the squad is around. You need support on these extensive maps. You know, you're not Thanos or something like that. They'll just vanish people with a click or something like that. But you have to be around your guys so they can support you if you fall on the battlefield. But Negative Esports being split up too much, this thing is costing them a lot of bodies, early losses, eventually minimizing their chances of winning the match.
Well, that is true. I mean, I feel like the man count is not really mattering as much, specifically when talking about Negative Esports, because even with the man count, they generally do end up not winning the match. So like, if your match winning chances are already 0, how low can you go? But in any case, you are right. I was just being too harsh for a minute, but I
Yeah.
feel like if they do hear this, they might get the will
Sometimes
to actually just
sometimes
prove
they
me
need
wrong.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I hope this works as a motivator for them. However, in the
Yeah.
current situation, finally
Just to
the
prove.
2 separated brothers get to meet each other.
Yeah, and this time around is Shahid to come and pick up Pinkman. But yeah, this could be a motivation, just to prove a complete stranger, wrong for themselves. But yeah, but joke aside, we have our first shift coming in, and this time around it's kind of more concentric near Chumacera and Picao. And Team 52 Esports, they're already there. It's not much of things to move around, and not much of to move out. But look at this. When you have the bad luck, nothing can change things for you. And Pinkman being picked a while ago, and now he is getting crashed, flushed, and out of this game. On the other side, Team Negative Shahid, he just abandoned the vehicle at the right moment, because eventually he would have been consumed by the flames. But Negative Esports, with the final player surviving, XG will go for that player. It will try to get that frag as well. One more point. Nobody dislikes it. Everybody loves to have one more extra frag for themselves. It just boosts up your confidence at the start of the game. But the Negative Esports, I believe so, it's done and dusted for them in this particular match. They have to come up with a new strategy. Yesterday we saw a very good strat from them in the match, which Team QR eventually winning the match, but they survived for pretty long, eventually made up to the top 5, had good numbers in their backpack, and had a very good match. But if you keep on losing much and winning less, it's not a good sight.
Absolutely. However, I am pretty impressed by the positioning held
there
by
you go.
141 official. They're doing a great job. They have a very high, compound to themselves. They're able to take a look at a lot of teams from there. They have their eyes at one player of Agonex I8, and alongside they have one whole team around them that they're able to scan through. So if they time it right, they might just be able to get a good number of frags to themselves, which might help them climb up a little. Because again, as we saw today in that comparison from day 1 to day 3, it didn't look good. So this is their chance to make up for whatever they lost in day 3. However, right now Aegon XI8 has their focus all the way towards 3x.
Yeah, 3x, the ones who changed the course for them in the previous match. But this time around, I still feel like if they're going to go into a full-fledged fight, they have to be close enough to each other, because this kind of formation, the script can be repeated again, because in the previous match we saw Falak going down, the first person from Aegon XI8 eventually didn't work out for the team to survive for long, and that's where Team Aegon XI have to realize that their strength lies in being together as a squad, not to split up this much. But as I said at the start of the day, they are trying out new things. Some of these things are working out for them, some of them don't, but it will eventually get late. They have to step up again. They have to just grab their deserving position, which is kind of in top 3, and just give a run for the money for 7th element. Give them a run for their money. Otherwise it will be just a kind of monotonous tournament for everybody, just few teams dominating and rest of them just waiting for themselves. So talking about this particular situation, we have XG against Team Freestyle. We have drop shot with DBS, shotguns, wonders we have seen in the past, but a Tug moving this forward, especially in the open area, won't be a good sight for him if he gets in the line of sight for Team Freestyle, other players. But drop shot, he has to regroup, and that's where XG will move slightly forward and can eye on the movement of Team Freestyle players. I was expecting this to break down into a full fight. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Absolutely, I felt the same way, but then Freestyle not only fell back, they also split up quite a bit. So I do feel like they are having one man watch their backs, but it's still not gonna work out, considering the fact that you're not facing a very mid-level team right now. XGeneration is one that has claimed the whole throne for a really long time, and yes, there they are charging in with full aggression.
Yeah, Lalu have to leave the place, but how far he can go? Team Freestyle drop shot is the one who is just holding the side for now. Black is slightly away from drop shot, won't be able to give much of the cover, much of the support, but there's utility being dumped by drop shot, and Fazio on the other side getting flushed by the players of XG. XG with 3 eliminations, they're back, right? Their confidence is up. Now they're pushing forward. Shamir has no idea. It's the other room around, and the timely push of XG Hunter saved the life of Shamir, and now Freestyle is down to their last player. Goku is also into the picture. Even Freestyle Black couldn't, be a prey to Team XG. Eventually QR Goku bot will confirm that kill, and Freestyle will be the third one to leaving this match. QWERTY in the midst of this fight left for the lobby without even getting a single point. So Freestyle down to the final player. Blue zone is also pressing in, and that's where Freestyle Black have to decide which way to go, and I believe it's way of being defensive and eventually losing his life on the rotation. But TFT versus QR have a good position in the circle, and TFT on the other side just looking for somewhere to hold on to.
Absolutely. QR does do miraculous things out of nowhere, specifically on the map of Miramar, as long as all four of their players survive. And currently, they do. They all do. So it's going to be a beneficial one. And they would want to make sure they do not lose any of their players to make sure that they're able to take the chicken home. Because what good is a meal if you're not able to share it with all the players of the team? But yes, I still feel like I am most impressed by the performance of Team Star right now, because not only did they get themselves the elimination points, they also made sure that their position points are going to be a little better by making sure they were able to eliminate a whole squad of the map. I mean, I did see Team QWERTY getting eliminated, but then when I took a look at the kill feed, I was like, wait a second, they got eliminated all right, but they got eliminated by Team Star. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a good start for Team Star, and these kind of early fights, they are much needed by Team Star. And if Team Star is getting value out of these fights, getting some eliminations early on, this will really help them out. But TFD, Saf is down on the other side by QR Healthy, but Team TFD now losing another player, and Freestyler have to knock out Senior if he wants to save the life of Izzy. QR on the other side, they are pushing forward. QR, two of their players are down. TFD also have two of their players down, but it's a 2 versus 2 situation. Healthy pushing forward. He would like to give no time to the players of Team TFD, but he's looking at the wrong direction. On the other side, Team TFD Leon taking down Spark as well, so it's healthy. It's a 1v3 situation, and if Izzy gets up on time, it's a 1 versus 4 situation, 2 versus 4 situation for the squad of Team QR. So now it's time. TFD pushing forward. Team Star is also in the picture on the back hill, and this can get into a third-party situation pretty quick. But QR, they are disengaging from this fight. Healthy is also out of the mix, and Team TFD, after taking some of the frags in this fight, they're leaving for the warehouse for a safe space, just to rejuvenate, just to re-energize themselves for the next fight.
Absolutely, they much require this reset. And well, Team QR is still gonna be on the lookout, but are they gonna be able to spot anyone? They are seeing the vehicles soar by, but GokuBot is not gonna invest into the fight. He knows he has lost all his players. He's the only one surviving, and that's not looking good for QR. And as I said before, once they start losing players, it's game over for them. However, 52 Esports, again a team from the bottom side, going ahead and making frags onto 7th Element. 7th Element is literally sitting this one out. I mean, they have no frags, they have lost 2 players. It's weird.
Yeah, 7th Element, they got 2 of their players down, but it's time now. It's 1 versus 3 for 7 Element T24 OP, but 52 Esports, without losing a player, they have 4 of these eliminations in their backpack. But 52 Esports, they somewhat harness more attention from the other squads around, and eventually will be some time when any of these squads will try to push in just to capitalize on the situation. But in the mix, we saw Team QR's final player GokuBot eventually getting eliminated, and this frag also goes into the backpack of I believe Team Star. And Team Star with 6 eliminations, right on top of the table. Right next door to them is Team 52 Esports. They just got their player revived, but XT on the other side getting few knocks from the side of Team Star, I guess. So 3 to 4 teams, they are in the same locality, which is not good, especially in this stage of the game where things are getting slightly more packed in for every squad.
Absolutely, I'm seeing some really good names already go off. Like, we have seen 7th Element get eliminated, we have seen Quantum Rage get eliminated, even though Miramar is the only map that we have seen them shine on. However, Regicide survives alongside Team Star, 52 Esports, and Freestylers. I mean, okay, Freestylers does not really have a shot, it's just one player alive, makes sense. But still, Team Star and 52 Esports, they have enough number of frags. That means they did invest into fights, but they came out back on top without even losing any single player. And the moment I say it, the Caster's curse plays its role.
But now it's time, I guess. Team 3X, they will charge in and eventually make Team Star pay for all their mishaps they have done in the past. the mistakes they have done in the past, and within no time, it's 3x and Aegon XI8 with their collaborational work. They have Team Star out of the mix, and Team Star with only 6 eliminations in their backpack, getting out of the lobby on 10th position. Now it's time for 3x to look for the next target, but meanwhile we have also experienced another circle shift, which pretty much opens up the whole battlefield for all these teams. There is not much of the hard cover except a few of the warehouses in the center, but all of these teams are on the edges. Nobody is committing for the center, going for that risky drive in. But TFD versus Team XG pushing in. Chamir boy, he is feeling himself, and this time around he is getting maximum value out of these duels. Team Aegon Exide also want to join into the fight. They like to be in part of the party, but TFD on the side praying for that peace of mind for a while so they can revive a few of their players. But Freestyle Black on the other side getting eliminated by the side of Team XG. XG with 7 eliminations, 4 players up, and now it's time they will make the skill tally toward 8th elimination as well.
Absolutely, and I mean, XGeneration, as expected, going really, really strong. 8 frags to their names already, and we are still gonna be seeing a couple of circles come in. And look at that, TFD is sent home almost. It's just Leon OP surviving from their side, and well, it doesn't look very optimal situation. He still has to make his way. From among a couple of teams, there's literally 3 teams around him. The moment he starts sprinting towards his goal, he's done. So it's gonna be a very sneaky play coming in from his side, and that's just gonna result in not many collectives of frag points. He's not gonna be able to secure any more elimination points, but the position points, however, can spike up now, because this is exactly the position where if you start surviving a little, you start getting more and more points. He's already at 8th rank. That gives him 1 point nonetheless, but the more he survives, the more points he can collect now.
Yeah, but this recent change in this point structure is not helpful for the surviving guys. It's
That's
more
true.
toward the fragging for the teams, and that's the reason why we're seeing big numbers, huge number of frags by the side of XG, R3G. The teams, the ones that keep themselves busy and just eyeing around, looking for the next target, they're the one getting the maximum out of it. But XT on the other side, there again I'm seeing they're feeling themselves, and now is another one, I guess. So Team XT Stuck will have Nightmare in his scopes. There's a Molotov coming in, but at the same time a utility being dumped as well, just as a safety for Team XT Thug. He's pushing forward now. 2 of the players are, their information is given out. XT Thug is the solo one here. RF trading out those headshots on XT Thug, but this will also bring more attention of Team Aegon XI8 into the mix. Another nade coming in, another following nade from the side of Team NES, and also Team I8 getting something out of this fight. Third party after third party in is now XG Hunter, the final player, surviving, and within no time 3 of the players from Team XG falling apart from the squad, and now Team XGeneration is out of the game as well. So being slightly over aggressive doesn't work out in this kind of lobby. You have to pay respect to the others as well. But a very good run from the side of XG with 10 eliminations in their backpack. 10 points, I would say. 9 eliminations, 10 total points. It's a good match overall. But Team NES surviving after this fight. We have H2E also still in the mix, one of the most strongest contender of Miramar, and having their 2 players up, I don't feel like they are strong anymore.
Well, I do feel like a lot of teams here started losing players pretty quickly into the game, and even though like 52 Esports was looking really strong for a really long time, and then suddenly they lose 2 players.
Nice.
Now they don't look to be holding as strong a position into the game. And well, Regicide, it's been a while. I've been seeing this team does survive quite a bit, but they do not make a name for themselves in the end. So let's see if that's the story this time. However, Aegon XI8, it seems like they have little competition left now, because there's hardly any team that can actually beat them if you talk statistically.
Yeah, except R3G, I don't see anyone just showing up to the mix against Team Aegon XI8. But 3X, they are just giving again, I would say, the run for the money to Aegon XI8. The way Aegon is just kind of maintaining a low profile on the battlefield, just not showing up much. It will help them to survive till the final circles, but 3X have a different plan for themselves. There's been utility being traded out on both of the sides, and a close call for IQ, but IQ getting knocked from the side of NES. NES is also eyeing on that location where Aegon players are, and I believe it will be difficult for Aegon players to revive IQ on time. The guy is surviving. Mars confirming IQ skill, and Aegon XI8 is now down to 3 players. The moment we start talking about any team, the things start getting worse for them. But you know, we have nothing to do with this. You know, believe us, guys. We have nothing to do with this. We're not doing it. But yeah, are you doing anything?
We're spotless. We did nothing at all. I'm a very nice person. I don't do shit like that.
Yeah, we were just mentioning them. It's nothing more than you know, there is no curse being placed on them. But on the other side, Team 3X getting their first knock from the side of Aegon XI8. So both of the teams are kind of the same player count. It's 3 versus 3. But R3G, they have other plans for NES. They are pushing forward NES. Most of their attention is toward the side of Team Aegon XI8 and Team 3X fight. Aegon XI8 and 3X, both of these teams are kind of fighting for a good play area on the northern side of the circle, but on the south, R3G is claiming most of this land for themselves. NES is getting slightly harder for them to hold on, because now this is the prime location. R3G, they have no way other than this to go, and they have to push forward. And with this kind of intent, the way R3G been playing so far, I believe so R3G have a fair chance to give a hard time to the players of NES.
Absolutely, and well, NES does have a lower hand here because again, R3G is playing pretty well, and well, yes, just as you say, TFD has been taken out, and I feel like the situation is not getting any better for 3X versus Aegon XI8 either. I mean, from a long distance, is making life really difficult for 3X, but in the process, they have already seen their own teammate dead be on his knees. So let's see if they're even going to have the opportunity to go ahead and save him, because he's also going to be battling the zone in a few seconds.
Good one, Kira.
And well, yes, Kira does make sure that he is the killer he's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's 3X versus Aegon XI8, and Aegon XI8 losing in this very battle on Miramar, and Aegon XI8 is out of the game on the 5th spot, but 3X still surviving with 2 of their players. They have 7 eliminations in their backpack, but things are getting slightly spicy and bit harsh for these teams out there. It's open, it's less of the cover available. 52 Esports, they have a quality place for themselves, quality real estate, but the rest of the teams, they are just on their own in the open. R3G, they managed to get one of the houses, especially on a higher altitude, I would rather say, but R3G knock, he has to eventually join with the team. Blue zone is right on his back, but NES with 3 of their players surviving. They have the eastern edge of the circle. NES Nightmare in a very compromised place, but 3X is the only one, I would say, kind of posing a threat to the players of NES, and there are only 2 players to just take care by NES, and eventually I believe so it will be easy for North Esports to clean the mess up on the northern side of the circle.
Well, I feel like the victory, however, right now lingers alongside Regicide, because even if they do not take the chicken, there's going to be a huge gap between them and North Esports. Even if they get like a couple of frags, they're going to be way far ahead. However, I do feel like North Esports is already in trouble. They have attracted quite some attention towards themselves, already a knock in place. And well, look at that. Regicide already capitalizing on 3X.
Yep, and Nightmare on the other side, just single-handedly taking care of the players of 3X. Kira is the final player surviving, so it's 1 versus 3 versus 2 versus 1 situation, and 3X is still with that final player surviving, just you know, trying to give maximum damage to the players of NES, skimming their chances of winning this match. But 52 Esports, they've been just silent viewers in this whole mix, they've been just eyeing around, just looking at the situation, just seeing what's going on around them. But on the other side, Nightmare taking care of 3x as a whole, and Team NES with 2 of their surviving players with full HP on the northeastern side of the circle. But R3G, they are pushing in. Nightmare on the other side helping R3G to clear out this compound, and within no time NES take cares of 52 Esports. I must say, the way Nightmare confirmed those 2 kills, it looks that guy has an eye of an ego, and the way he kind of I'm not getting the word, I just lost the train of my thought, but the way he just picked those players inside those buildings, that was very, I can say in a unique way, very astounding for me. But it's a 2v2 situation. Both sides, first knock will eventually decide who's going to win the match. I believe Team NES have an idea where the position R3G players are holding, and this is where Nightmare will confirm the kills for their team. Knock versus Nightmare, it's happening. NES Mars will help out Team NES eventually to slide to the final, killing the final player and getting to the victory. But R3G Knock, he is pushing forward. He has that health lead, but NES Mars confirming the final kill. And this is North Esports winning this winner chicken dinner for the second match of the day, and a much needed chicken dinner for North Esports. Anna, you were mentioning that yesterday we saw a glimpse of a revival for North Esports, but now see, this match will eventually translate into more confidence for them.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to be one of the teams that have 2 chickens to their name. Even though it pops up once in a while, it does give a lot of boost to the team, and the number of frags they have alongside it just go really well. It's 12 eliminations, and with that the 10 points added for the chicken, it's a 22-point total victory, which will definitely push them all the way up to the first page at least. And I think that's good enough, because that definitely qualifies you for the bonus match and gives you a good head start for the grand finals if you're able to make it that far.
Yep, let's see what we got from these teams in the coming days. But guys, we'll be going for a short break. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
इस रमज़ान PUBG मोबाइल के साथ बांटें अच्छाइयाँ ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन, खेलें सिर्फ दिल जीतने के लिए।
Welcome back after the short break. I'm seeing that smile on your face, Yana, after NES managing to get that chicken dinner. What you make out of this whole thing? I believe R3G had a good run, but losing one of their players against that fight with 52 Esports, it was kind of that turning point for this particular match for R3G.
Absolutely. I mean, every single time I see R3G surviving quite a long time, but then they are not able to convert any frags into their advantage towards the last few ones where it really matters. So I guess that's something they need to work on. But I do gotta say, Nightmare is an opportunist. He just spots people from anywhere at all and makes sure that he's taking the frag. Doesn't matter whether he invested enough damage on it or not, doesn't matter whether it was his knock or not, he's just gonna go ahead, confirm the frag, get the point. And I just feel like that's very opportunist of him.
Yeah, the way he confirmed those kills, especially on the northern side on Team 3X, both of the frags were picked by Nightmare, and eventually he was the guy who made things easy for North Esports. But I'm pretty much also expecting him to be the MVP, and there you go. With 7 eliminations, 244 healing, 716 damage. You know, the point of being opportunist fits right there, because the kind of damage he traded on the players on the opposition, it's pretty calculated, you know. 100 damage each kill, so it's 716 damage, 3 knockouts. So he's been picking much of the kills from the opposition knock players, and 2 assists also, 29 minutes of survival time. So well deserving MVP, and the guy who pretty much, you know, I would say is the only factor, major factor playing a great role in the win of Team North Esports eventually, because the way Nightmare performed, especially, you know, clearing out much of the threat for Northeast Sports on the northern end of the circle. It pretty much set it up for this victory overall, Yana.
Absolutely, and I'm nowhere gonna complain about this because again, I do want to see new teams come up to the surface. I do want to see all the teams from the back page to make their way in into the first. I was really not happy with the performance from the side of Seventh Element. Even though I do want to see other teams come up, it's not that I expect them to just go ahead and lose at zero itself. But still, I mean, that did give a lot of room to wiggle around for the other teams.
Yeah, but let's see the performance from 3x, especially they managed to get into the top four. With this change anything on the overall leaderboard, but seeing this particular match seems like 3x have a plan for the day. They want to capture that first spot the way they're playing, especially in previous two matches. They have shown that intent, and the way they've been taking fights against opposition, especially Aegon XI8, it clearly shows their confidence, and the confidence is working out for them. But talking about this particular match ranking, guys, Northeast Sports, after 12 eliminations in their backpack, they managed to get 22 total points. In this match, R3G on the other side, 15 total points. 3x, another 12 points. Still, they are slightly far from that first spot, but they did a wonderful job in two of these matches. On the other side of the picture, we have H2E. They were surviving for a long time. 3 eliminations in the backpack, 4 points. And 1 point, 1 elimination point for Freestyle. But rest of the teams, Quantum Race, 7th Element, The Grounders, 1-4-1. Team QWERTY, Team Negative couldn't even start their tally in this particular match. So not a good match for these 6 teams. But again, as part of the game, sometimes you rise as a winner and sometimes you just leave the battlefield right away. What kind of changes are you expecting here, Ayana?
Well, I mean, now that Erangel is showing up, I do see the gap between 7th Element and 3x becoming bigger and bigger. It's still going to be 1 match difference between the two. And as we had expected, it's not going to be as easy. Even if 7th Element did nothing at all and 3x went ahead for 27 points, that's when they could have actually, dethroned them. But well, they could only get 12 so far. So it's just how it is.
Yeah, still, a long way to go. 14 points. They still have to take from Team 3x. They have to manage to get 13 to 14 points next match. But much of the changes we were expecting on this page, the only change I'm noticing is 52 Esports rising up to 16th spot, R3G improving their position slightly and getting to the 12th spot. Team The Grounders, they just are back on the second page, 11 spot, 78 points, not far from going even further down. But things aren't changing for squads like Negative Esports, Team Star, Team The Faulty Devils. Team Star had a good start, but the way they were being vanished or disappeared from the battleground, that was something to discuss about. It was a slight second, the moment our cameraman was focusing on something else and Team Star was boom out of this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like an alien spaceship hovering around there that just picked up all of the players of Team Stars and just vanished away. Yeah, they're probably on a different planet right now, guys. But we'll try to get them to have enough signal to play from there as well.
Yeah, and the way they started, we were expecting them to go for that long run to the final circles, where R3G eventually showed up as a second spot, claimer for this particular match. But the only weakness I see is whenever these guys are close and the moment one players fall, it's just a trickling down effect, and the rest of the teams also fall right next to that particular player, and they're out for the woods and moving toward the lobby. But joke aside, guys, Group C will be sitting on the benches. We are going for the third match of the day, and it's Erangel. Didn't realize we just casted 2 of the matches, but this is how the time goes. And now we are moving forward to Erangel, and within a few minutes we will jump into this match. But any particular expectations, Zahara, you have for any team beside HR? Don't tell me that you're expecting a chicken dinner from HR.
I am not. But if you do take a look at the teams still trailing behind, if there is one that I feel like can get a chicken eventually, it's 141 officials. But like,
Yes.
yeah, the other than that, I have not seen promising performance coming from anyone else, and I don't even know how 141 official managed to go all the way back there. Well, it is
Yeah.
what they're dealt with, and it is what we have to live with.
Yeah, but we just noticed in the previous match, XG, after having a bad day yesterday, they have some intent. They are trying their level best to get something out of these matches. But on the other side, if on the contrary, if we speak about 141, they are somewhere in the picture. Every now and then we see them in the kill field, but within progressing to the third or fourth stage of the game, it's over for them and they're leaving for the lobby pretty quick. But let's see what they have for us, especially in this particular match, 141. Their drop location is pretty far from this plane path, but let's see what they have for themselves as well. Particularly, I'm expecting them to drop in fairy pair. This plane path will eventually won't do much for teams that like to go northern side of the map, especially Georgia Pole, Rozhok, Yasnaya. Yasnaya is kind of in reach at the end of the plane path, but rest of the map is pretty much abandoned, and it's a long journey for teams to go up there, especially find those vehicles and eventually get to their drop locations.
Absolutely. And I feel like a couple of teams are going to be very, very disappointed with this plane path, because I do know one team specifically. I fail to recollect which one exactly. They love Siverny. They always want to go to Siverny. And Siverny is like literally on the other side of the map. Unless and until the circle suddenly, appears towards the northern side, there's no chance they're going to be able to make it there. However, I do not have those expectations with the circle. And exactly as hoped, the circle does not go towards the north. I don't know what's up with the circle these days. Like the northern area, it's something the circle is not even trying to go to. If I was the circle, I would definitely want to go towards the
Oh, good
north,
one.
because it's getting very, very warm here. Delhi is heating up.
But in this case, the circle is kind of more favoring toward the water locations, and we are seeing an early skirmish breaking down between Team HR versus Team H2E. But beautiful shots from Adnan, and Team H2E losing yet another player in the midst of this fight. Dread is slightly away from his team. It could be the final surviving player, but the rest of the team is already packed and ready to be shipped back to the lobby. And the final player, he is just running for his life. I believe so. Team HR won't let him go any further way, and they will eventually catch him up. Just like they used to do in the Wild West, and confirming the final kill on H2E as well.
It's a chase. It's a literal chase. They are not gonna let Dread go anywhere anymore. It's like they have decided to make sure that the whole elimination goes to them only. But like, yeah, it's a bad situation for
Oh,
him. They're already
100%.
approaching. Oh
They
my
spotted
god.
him. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, we were just feeling for that guy, guys. We are human beings. We can feel what he's feeling right now. Is kind of more anxious. He just, his brain is seizing a little bit. Making it hard for him to think what to do in this way situation. And here we go. H2E, they're pushing upstairs, and now they are just waiting for that right time. 3, 4, 2, 1, whatever the count is. H2E is out of this game, and.
This
I was about to say some racist stuff, but yeah, I'm not gonna say. People can understand. I have these privileges on Urdu stream, but I can't do it here. But moving forward, Team HR is somewhat, they have a good start. I should count it as a good start or not, but Team HR now, they're playing as a team all together, pushing on one player, feeling themselves, doing that boys thing, and Team HR have 4 of their eliminations in their backpack, and I believe this is the time they start building upon this. Otherwise, there's no good to have one squad, wiped out, and you couldn't get much of the value afterwards. But as we were discussing about 141, they're pretty surrounded by Team Star. Team Star, they didn't go to Siverny, their drop location. They just managed to get few weaponry on the way, and now they're just eyeing for that compound, which 141 is holding. 3 of their players are there. 141 Sirius, JD, Janaza. Let's see, Janaza will be able to put forward any funerals on the side of Team Star. But now seeing anything now. Janaza has no idea where all these guys are. Any of these guys just step out of this boundary, it will be hard for them to escape from the eyes of these demons up there on the hill. But 141 series, they're pushing toward Fury. What's going on? There's a change of plans, I guess so, and there should be an active communication from team star player. JD is down. He has an AKM. AKM is the deadliest weapon as compared to any other weapons, and there you go. Two of the players of 141 leaving out possibly from this game, and team star, they're pushing in. It's time for Janaza to show up and try to get something out of this. But on the other side, we are seeing 141 Mithe also on the bike, and it's not a good side for team 141. They weren't expecting kind of this start in this particular match, but team star, they will look for that position. They will look for those 2 kills as well. Moving forward, Destroyer taking a position right next doors Janaza. His position is compromised. Everybody know where he is, and also getting damaged. Destroyer is pushing in. Don't just roam around this place. It will be difficult for you. But Janaza with that shotgun shot, making Zairoje to get down on his knees. Now Janaza is moving forward with that shotgun. He will eventually leave the top story as well. Team Star, they're pushing forward. Fury has no idea where Janaza is. The guy is pushing in with the shotgun. Revival is happening right next door. They're taking their chances. Star Fury with that AKM, with that UMP, taking one down as well. And the final player surviving, 141 Mithe with his shotgun. He is trying his best, but nothing is gonna work out for him. And Team Star with that 4 elimination spree, and Fury with 3 kills. So some of these teams on the lower bottom, they are getting those ideal starts, Sayana.
Absolutely, they're definitely getting the stars for themselves, but right now it's gonna look like star team itself is not looking good. I mean, there's revivals going on, but it seems like they don't have enough health supplies to make sure that all of their players are on feet enough to go ahead and take fights. Even though they have all 4 members alive, it's not looking like a beneficial situation for the team. However, they are alone in the whole area. They will have enough opportunities to go ahead and make some loots. But look at that, 7th element players. Hi, Divine.
Yep, and 7th element is time to show up, guys. You have to just keep that momentum going. Previous match, we just let it slide, but it's not gonna be beneficial for you to be kind of slightly responsible with your first position. But 7th element, they're eyeing on the players of team TFD. Freestyler up on the rock, tried to claim that place for himself, but how long he can do that? But 7th element kind of dispersed these guys. The confidence is oozing from their gameplay, and this is a good thing for, especially for the team like this. If they're on the first spot and if they have that kind of confidence, they will stay on top spot for a long time until someone just play exceptionally well to dethrone them. But I'm not seeing this happening pretty soon, Ehana.
Well, yes, it's gonna be a little bit of time before we see these teams stepping up, because again, according to the way the last game went for 7th element, they do wanna have their aggression on point. They do wanna have a hefty game, but they do wanna make sure they're also controlled and conserved all through it, because in trial of attaining frags, if they by chance lose their position, it's not gonna look good for them.
Yeah, but some of the teams, being on the top is a motivation. Some of these teams, the fear of being on the top is motivation. The fear of losing the first part is a motivation.
Yep.
But I'm not sure what it is for 7 element. But the way these guys been playing, they have just somewhat give a hope to all those esports fans who want to see more of variety, especially on this kind of stage where it's just PMPL is a pro league for your region, and if you're seeing the same champion for 2 times around, it's not a good sight. It shows that your esports scene is not growing. There are no new claimers of the thrones coming in, and it doesn't make things exciting anymore for the viewers. And we want to have excitement staying into the mix, and eventually more new fans coming in, more audiences, their interest coming in, and it will be a good thing for each and everyone who is associated with the community. But let's focus on the game again. So first circle, it was more of an eastern circle. Now it's more converging toward farm, Milta City, and south side of shelter and mansion. And the cluster in the mid is not a good side for all these teams. On the other side, TFT freestyler trying to practice his aim on Magnus Esports. Passing by cars is not a good thing to shoot on them. But TFT freestyler, he was trying to get Dolan out of this vehicle. He didn't like the color, I guess. But Team Seventh Element and Magnus Esports, one of the Seventh Element player is in close proximity of Magnus Esports wherever this team is going. And I believe Seventh Element is time to just regroup. It's not a good thing to be this much separated, because all of these teams that were previously outside the circle, now they're moving in, and they're moving in as a team. And it will be difficult for you as a solo player to hold on to a position which is kind of a vital position for any other team would like to capture that.
True to the word, true to the word. However, let's talk about 52 esports for a second. What are they doing? What are they doing? I saw when we saw the map view, they were all the way towards the west, still
Yep.
outside the play zone, struggling behind, scrambling behind, trying to make sure that they make their way back in. I don't think they even have a shot anymore. They're just way too far. And I mean, okay, let's say you do make it back into the circle. What are you gonna do after that? You're just too late to the party. Like, a lot of frags are going to be
Yep.
missed out already. The the one a few players which can actually be taken out easily will already have been taken out by someone else. You won't have much standing there, standing against the teams that are already built up with the confidence of having a good number of frags to their hands. You won't have enough healings to your hands because you would have used all of that to reset
Yep,
yourself
pretty
once
much.
you come back into the circle, and there's going to be less real estate to go ahead and claim. People will have already put their markers on specific locations inside the map. I mean, this is just utmost level of disrespect for the circle. You trailing all the way to the west when the second circle has already cut itself in.
Yep, and we want justice. Definitely, we want justice, guys. Spam the hashtag justice for Blue Zone and Play Zone. Both of these guys, no disrespect ever will be, I would say,
Appreciated.
being appreciated or taken for either of these
Yeah.
guys. Neither for the Play Zone nor for for the Blue Zone. So yeah, 52 esports, you guys have to show up and give us the reason, otherwise it's not a good thing to happen. But 3x versus team tough, it's happening down there close to the Milta City. No comeback out of the mix. Was able to take down one player, but couldn't do much during this time. On the other side, Team TG versus Aegon XI8 is happening. Aegon XI8, one of their player Falak, who was pretty moved forward, and that's where the punishment happened. TG will revive their player, but it won't do much for them. But what is this going on? 3x above with one utility. First he knocked Haji, now with the utility he took down Joker Sir as well. It's the first match for Joker Sir, and in the first match going down with the utility is not a good sight. But there you go, Team Tough within no time getting eliminated, and Team 3x will have 3 of their frags, I believe so, in their backpack, or all of the 4 frags. Yes, all of the 4 frags in their backpack. But TG versus Aegon XI8 is still happening. Team TG, they revived their player Aegon XI8. They also revived Falak, but they're also taking knocks back and forth. Utilities being dumped. I believe this utility will take down Dead, and another player is also spotted out. Utility being thrown, damaging IQ, putting him to half HP. By this time where Aegon XI8 go for that revival, but things are getting worse for Team I8. 7E is also eyeing at that location. Team TG on the other side getting third party from close by, and both of these teams are not getting much out of this fight, Hana.
Absolutely. They both are looking like they're wanting to invest into the fight pretty well. There are nades and counter nades coming back and forth constantly. And well, in the whole scene, the one team that is patiently waiting to make sure that they capitalize on the whole situation is Seventh Element. I mean, how clever and how disciplined you have to be to see that kind of a fight going on right in front of your eyes, back and forth, nades, counter nades, shots, everything is just happening right in front of you, and you do not shoot a single shot, making sure that the teams do not realize that your presence is right there and you can actually capitalize on the whole situation. Egon Phoenix I8, however, has taken a step back. They do realize that this fight is not gonna be as easy up close. They do realize that there may be teams located around them, and they want to make sure that the whole cover is provided to them. They're able to make sure that they are not in the crosshair of any other team. However, talking about this current location, oh god, shelter. Well, is shelter gonna provide any shelter to any of our players right now? Because there are a couple of teams located here, and both of them are trying to fight off each other. NES, however, does not look like they're holding a very strong point. They did make a great storyline for themselves in the last match, but it does not look like it's following through in this one. They cannot really compromise at all right now. They have a lot to lose, but if Star makes their way in, Star has another history to write down for themselves, because again, both of these teams are definitely trailing way behind on the leaderboard. NES did make themselves a claim in the last match, but it's still not something solidified. It's still not something that they can create a wiggle room around. And well, look at that, HellRaisers. HellRaisers, I don't even think they should be participating in any fights right now, because they do know that they're not coming in with the upper hands anymore. And look at that, two different teams attacking them from two different corners. They do not have breathing room. And well, they do not have breathing room on the score line of the overall standings either. So they should make sure that they, get themselves oxygen masks before diving into these fights. And there it comes. The nade is going to be so on point there. It takes down a player from the side of HellRaisers. And well, the frags are going to be confirmed. The eliminations are going to be transformed into defeats. And there it is. HellRaisers in a very bad situation, and NES Nightmare again shining brighter in that dark of the night. I feel like his name is very well written. I mean, the darker things get for the team, the more wrathful he becomes for the rest that remain. However, right now, the struggle towards the circle is still going to be there. And well, talking about the circle, going back to the point, 52 Esports did not capitalize much, did they? They did lose their players the moment they started walking in. And I mean, Ehsan, I don't think these players are gonna have much opportunity for themselves going into the circles, because if you do not make sure that the circle is in your favor, then what else can you expect to be in your favor? You're already 4 versus 60. That is a big number to go against anyways. And then even if the number keeps coming down, it's not going to go down enough for you to have just equal opponents until you make yourself into the last few circles. Well, Team QWERTY, there they go, shattering dreams of Team Star. It's just very heartbreaking to see Team Star make themselves come all the way up here and then lose their breath. Team QWERTY is not stopping today at all. Look at that. They are making sure that they are able to collect as many frags as possible. They do go ahead with a great initiation, and well, okay, that was unexpected. That was a good nade, but that was unexpected, and for that the Faulty Devils will be punished as well. Well, right now it feels like Team QWERTY and the Faulty Devils do have a battle on hand. But Ehsan, I don't feel like any of these teams has an upper hand into this one. This is literally delaying the, ultimate. They are just trying to avoid the inevitable as far as possible, but they will eventually fall into a very bad position no matter which one wins in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Izzy's position is pretty risky. He's very forward in this fight, and Wolverine will eventually give his position out to the other players, and Izzy will also get taken out. There you go. Wolverine will confirm him, and the final player of TFD will also be taken out. On the back side, we have Magnus also jumping into the mix, and this is not a good news for Team QWERTY, because as they were fighting against 2 of the players of TFD, delayed a lot of the progress they were making forward. But now it's time. Magnus Esports, one of the fierce competitors, and they will make things difficult for them to even move forward. Magnus also realizes that this is the time where they can get maximum value out of this. QWERTY have to move somewhere, and they have to just set up the right traps at the right place and get those elimination points for themselves. But in the kill feed, we noticed 7E, 7th Element, losing one of their players, Techosaurus. Alean, he is leaving the match. Rest of the players will be in the mix. But we have 10 teams alive still, and we are stepping into the 6th phase of the game. Only few more minutes and we'll have or chicken dinner claimer out there, but kill feed is speeding up R3G, taking down one of the players from 52 Esports. Chotu appearing on the right side of the kill feed. 52 Esports MVP also getting knocked out. So R3G versus 52 Esports is happening and is going on full speed right now, Hannah.
Well, that is true. We are seeing these teams catch up the momentum and stay in the inertia zone right after that, because they want to make sure that their
Oh, another
momentum
one
does
down.
not break out at all. But well, 52. As I said earlier, I don't even have any hopes for this team right now, because again, you were way too late for the circle. Now it's just that you're going to be welcomed by bullets one time or the other. They've already lost a couple of players. I don't feel like there's enough room for them to make themselves any positioning in the first 5 teams of this match. However, we're still only left with 10 more to go. Magnus Esports looking like they are in a good position, but that is not going to be any beneficial for the side of Team PUBG. They are going to be
Oh.
taken down.
Yeah, Team BABLU's IGL, Teen Wolf giving his ghost out right next to one of his players. And Magnus Esports, they are slightly getting thrashed by the side of Team QWERTY. I believe QWERTY can, make them pay for leaving that position where they were previously, in a very good position. They could have gatekeep QWERTY, but Magnus Esports taking another one down from Team BABLU. And Team BABLU is, I believe, left with only 2 players. B+C now again taken down, and it's the final player. Pan, his position is revealed, and one more utility from Drawlin will just be the last nail in the coffin of Team BABLU, and they will also fall out from this match as well. So BABLU, things are not going well. Magnus Esports, there you go. Drawlin confirming both of those kills, and Team BABLU out of this game on 10th spot. We have Magnus Esports sitting pretty nice on the northern side of the circle. 7th Element is still in the mix with 3 of their players, which gives them a chance to at least get the runner-up position. The way they're playing, they have the hard cover, and I'm pretty sure 7th Element will make sure that they will clear up their surrounding before moving into the circle.
I do want to see that happen, but their information collector is missing. Tokusaurus is missing. But I do expect them to go ahead and make sure that they're still able to capitalize on their hunches, because, yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of capitalization, to be very honest. They did knock a player, but then they gave enough room for the player to be picked back up. But yeah, TG is still going to be fighting at 2 alone.
Yeah, this is the time where 7th Element is moving forward. Beautiful use of the gun skills from the side of T24 OP. Final player 9mm Boy Destroyer is the one who will also get eliminated, and 7th Element with 3 of these eliminations in their back now setting their eyes on that chicken dinner. If Magnus Esports lose any of their player, it will be easy for Team 7th Element to just creep in the at their back and eventually get maximum out of this situation. But Aegon Excited versus R3G, 2 of the players are close by. I8 also getting damage from the players of Team 7th Element, and 3x also taking part in this fight. There you go, IQ is down. Final player of I8 is surviving. Uzum giving a big run for the money to the guys of R3G. Roshan getting damaged, getting knocked out. Team QWERTY is also jumping into the mix. R3G could possibly also leave for the lobby after this final player is standing. All of the players, I believe 2 of the players are surviving. 2 of the players are knocked out. 3x on the other side getting thrashed by the heroes of the previous match. NES Nightmare. This guy has an eye of an eagle. Definitely the way he is spotting these players on the battlefield inside hard compounds.
Absolutely. I am seeing Nightmare being very, very, superficial about
Look
his
at this.
abilities. And, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, what kind of an eyesight does
He's
he
just
have?
capturing those pixels. Yes, absolutely. Look at that. There you go. Confirming that kill. And NES, 1 more elimination in their backpack. This is the final surviving player, and the way he's playing, it looks like this guy feel himself as a full squad, and he's moving forward. He has just few more inches to go, few more meters to go before getting into the circle. OG came into the site, but couldn't just connect the bullets on OG. Nightmare, he has to move forward. Smokes are there. Kira is anxiously waiting for that guy, but let's see if there are any reflexes left on the side of Nightmare. Nightmare can give a hard time to Kira, but there you go. Play zone will get his part of the battlefield and eventually get the life of NES Nightmare. Final player of 3X, Kira, will be picked by the DMR boy of QWERTY Wolverine, the veteran player, and the guy is too good with DMRs. He rarely misses. But Magnus Esports versus Team QWERTY with 7 eliminations, looking promising so far, Ayana.
Absolutely, and I do see all of their players still standing strong. That is great, because I have said it time and again that Voltrix kind of is carrying the team alone for the time being, but now the fact that the other players have started stepping up as well does give them a good opportunity into the final circle. However, right now the way the trades are coming in, if any frags are confirmed from the side of Magnus onto Team QWERTY, they might just lose that opportunity.
Yeah, but also we are seeing 7 element. They are just facing a tussle against R3G. They managed to get all of their players back up, and which is again a good thing to have, especially in these final circles. But 7 elements, T24 OP is back on his feet, but on his feet. But on the other side, also across the circle, we are seeing Team Magnus Esports and Team QWERTY. Both of these big names are stucking their horns in together, and so far things aren't going well for Team QWERTY. But the kind of position Team 7 element player is taking, this can turn things around for Magnus Esports. Could be a big backstab coming their way. I guess so.
Absolutely, and I do not want to bet my money on Magnus or QWERTY right now, because one, they're playing way far outside the circle, and this is not a teeny mini damage zone anymore. It's gonna be heavy damage that comes in with that. Right now, if you invest in this fight and use your medkits, your bandages for this one, you are not going to have enough opportunity to go ahead and heal yourself and walk back into the circle. So right now, position wise, it seems like Regicide and 7th element have a better standing. However, I feel like even 7th element is lagging behind in the number of healings. When it comes to Tabby, I guess he has only one bandage.
But yeah, he has only one bandage. But talking about Divine, he has some sort of utility available. He can pass around. But the problem with the Team QWERTY was they were outside the circle. The pressure of blue zone was immense, and that's the reason why they kind of melted down under that pressure. But Magnus Esports, after just getting 4 more eliminations in their backpack, and especially Drawlin and Faster, they are getting the maximum out of these fights. Now they are eyeing for the next target, and that's Team R3G. Things can get kind of more interesting if R3G manage to get one of the players confirmed from the side of Magnus Esports. It will be an even Steven for all of these teams surviving, because eventually will open up the chances for 7th element as well to capture that chicken dinner.
Absolutely. And well, as we have been seeing, 7th element since the beginning of this map, they have been trying to capitalize on making it a third party every single time. They are just waiting for teams to invest in the fight and then capitalize on that investment. Right now, it's like, I mean, you're the one putting the money into the bank, but all of the interest that is coming out of it, that's taken by 7th element. So they're just waiting for that interest to start getting generated from this fight. But for now, they will be rotating a little bit. They do have an idea that the teams are very far apart from each other, so they will have to be closer to both of them to create that. Yep, pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate shots, and having mini 14 with the 4x is kind of every player's last wish, deathbed wish. But talking about this way situation, 7 element is looking for that chance where they can strike hard, where they can strike bad to either of the teams, R3G or Magnus Esports, doesn't matter, they don't discriminate. But R3G on the other side, they are on the lower ledge, which is exposing most of their players to the players of Magnus Esports. Only these smokes are giving them a virtual cover for a while, but it's not going to be the same for a while. But I have 7E Divine managed to take down Roshan, and I believe so it will be hard for him to confirm his this elimination, but he can also knock down players of R3G. One more player was, I guess so, but this is the time where Team 7E, they have to leave that hard cover. They have to leave that hard cover, and they'll be open for the pickings, open for those frags that Magnus Esports is eyeing on. But most of of the attention of Magnus Esports is on the players of R3G. They're not even looking in this direction at this moment, Yana.
Absolutely. Both the teams are very focused on each other at the current moment. Even though there are shots coming in from the side of 7th Element, they are not attracting the players from Magnus or from R3G to look towards them. Now, finally, Magnus has started, taking a view around the corners to find out which other teams are available here. But now it's a 4v3 for Magnus versus 7th Element, because it doesn't seem like R3G has much standing in the game anymore.
Yep, and also that these smokes, they are just distracting Magnus Esports. They're putting these bullets in the smoke for nothing. Like they're not getting anything out of it. But Divine getting eliminated. Also Tabby is falling as well. And at the same time, T24 OP have to do something, and it's T24 surviving for his team till the second spot. And Magnus Esports with 15 eliminations in their backpack will confirm the 16th one, and will get that winner chicken dinner every day. They have a toll. Like they go into the battlefield, all 5 of them, and out of these 4 matches they try to get at least one chicken dinner for themselves, and they have just completed their quota for the day. And I hope they will continue it forward. But this is how Magnus Esports likes to play. But winner and chicken dinner coming to the side of Magnus Esports. But very well done from the side of 7th Element. The way they kept a low profile, the way they didn't get much of the attention from the side of Magnus Esports, they managed to get the 2nd position for themselves.
Well, I do agree to the fact that they did really very cleanly manage their low profile, but I'm going to disagree on a little bit on the fact that they performed well, because that's not what we expect out of them. They do promise a lot, and I feel like they did under-deliver right now. However, we do have one more Erangel. They do have one more shot. So we'll see what happens there. But before that, we'll just take a small little break so that we can come back with post-match analysis.
नहीं यार, आज गेम नहीं खेल सकता।
अहमद,
आ रहा हूँ मम्मी।
हाथ बढ़ाने से, साथ निभाने से, उम्मीद बांटने से खुशियाँ घटती नहीं बस बढ़ती है। वही देता है वही सुनता है जब भी दोगे तुम सदा।
नहीं यार, आज गेम नहीं खेल सकता।
अहमद,
आ रहा हूँ मम्मी।
हाथ बढ़ाने से, साथ निभाने से, उम्मीद बांटने से खुशियाँ घटती नहीं बस बढ़ती है। वही देता है वही सुनता है जब भी दोगे तुम सदा।
Well, what an amazing match did we just see. It was literally nail-biting to the last exact, point. Unless it was written, it's a winner-winner chicken dinner, we did not know who's going to win. This last 3 teams, all of them, like, fully packed with players on their sides. I just felt like, okay, is this going to be Regicide or Magnus or 7th Element? I have no idea.
Yeah, Magnus Esports, they placed themselves in a very prime location after eliminating Team QWERTY, and that's where I was already thinking maybe they're the winner of the chicken derby. But having 7th Element in the mix, things were kind of tricky to say anything. But talking about, again, the MVP of this match as well, this is Team North Esports Nightmare. This guy is getting at least good numbers for himself and also for the team as well. But 5 eliminations, individual eliminations 5. This time slightly better damage than the previous one, 835 damage, 1 assist, 6 knocks. So these 5 eliminations came from all of his own hard work, and 225 healing as well. So well deserving MVP. I was expecting someone else there, but I guess I was expecting faster from Magnus Esports. But
And
faster, I guess, didn't. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess I was expecting Zibian because Zibian did have like three consecutive frags towards the end, and
Yes.
Magnus not only did that, they have had a huge number of frags overall. So I felt like he was gonna be the one, and then I was like, wait, it's Nightmare. Okay.
Yeah, it could be. There was a team game. Yeah, you can see it now. Right next door to Nightmare, we have Drawlin, Faster, Zibian, 4 eliminations. Then Faster with 5 eliminations, 5 for Drawlin. So it's kind of a more teamwork strat we are seeing on the side of Team Magnus Esports. Voltrix also with the damage numbers, 598 individual damage, 3 elimination. Try to guess something out of these fights, but Magnus Esport, they were coming in pretty hard for these guys and eventually managed to eliminate Team QWERTY as well. But the specific moment of this match, I would rather say, were TFD versus QWERTY, and then again Magnus versus QWERTY, because both of these fights reshaped the whole battlefield. The moment QWERTY was out, things were easy for Magnus Esports, and also the moment TFD got eliminated, QWERTY had a chance to step into the circle. Otherwise, it would be difficult for them to even creep into the fifth phase.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly. But like, yeah, I do feel like Magnus, one thing that Magnus did correctly was the fact that they made sure even if a member was knocked, they were first investing into making sure that nobody could come back and attack and confirm that frag and then go ahead and revive them as well. Like they had made sure that no matter how many fights they invest into, they do come up on top with all four players towards the last circle. That was very well executed from their side, and that's why I feel like it was a very team effort game from their side. All of the players stepped up at some point or the other and contributed almost equally, and that just showed in their gameplay as well.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And Magnus Esports, the way they clinched to the victory is pretty promising. 16 elimination points, 26 overall. It will again put them on the second spot, right next to seventh element. But seventh element with these 9 points, even these small single-digit performances, they are working out for them. And seventh element, it's not far, I guess. So the way they played in this match, they will eventually get their chicken dinner of the day. But seventh element, they are playing fantastically. But as you were expecting more from them, I do expect more from them as well in the coming matches. But talking about the lower bottom of this leaderboard of this particular match, we have the Faulty Devils with only 2 eliminations in their backpack, the Grounders with only 2 points, 1 elimination, 1 placement point. But rest of the lobby, they managed to get only few eliminations, 1 elimination each for 52 Esports, Team BABLU, Team Tough, and 1 placement point. Come on, Aegon Excite, you can do better than this for Aegon Excite. But 141 officials, Team H2E, they were the first one to leave the battleground, and this is how it is. But talking about this overall leaderboard, still we have 12 points lead in the favor of 7th element. They are still on the first spot. We have 2 more matches to go. But let's see how the whole leaderboard shape up at the end of the day, Ihana.
Absolutely. However, I do got to mention that this was the first time I saw the leaderboard being less lopsided, because earlier, until the last match, every single time we have seen the last few teams, like literally last 5 to 6 teams, have literally 0 points on their boards. It wasn't like that this time, and a lot of teams this time had more than 4 to 5 frags or placements, and somewhere the tally was coming up to somewhere more than 5 for a lot of teams. However, even though Magnus did have 26 for themselves, the rest of the board was pretty divided and not concentrated on a single point.
Yeah, this shows that every team was putting much of effort to get at least few frag points for themselves. They know the moment they're in a worse position, they cannot go anywhere. They were just looking for those knocked players. They were just trying to get anything that they can lay hands on. So that's what we notice in the case of Team BABLU as well. Team BABLU, while they were losing their players, they were just looking around trying to get any of the knocked players, confirming their kills, get more frag points. But things you have to take control in your hand. Otherwise, this kind of point structure is not helping most of these teams. The teams, they are more accustomed toward that 15-point chicken dinner kind of mindset, where they have to start fragging out in the 5th or 6th phase of the game, where things are more concentric, things are more closed back, and everybody's trying to survive. They are not retaliating. But now everybody is looking for those frags, so it's getting hard for some of the teams. They have to change things up.
Absolutely. However, in today's day, we haven't seen a single completely out of the blue new name on the board yet. All the chickens
Yes.
that have come in today have been there once or twice before as well. So I feel like now I want to see a completely new name, even though I'm rooting for Seventh Element to go ahead and show something completely different this time. They haven't performed as expected in the last two matches, but still, I want to see a completely new name come in as a chicken, and hopefully X Generation, because they do have great performance, but they haven't secured any maps yet. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting that from Erangel, but we have only two more matches to go for the day. The day is coming to an
Yeah.
end way too quickly, Ehsan.
Yeah, we didn't start with Sanhok, but still somehow we just cruise along all these maps pretty quick, pretty swiftly, and didn't realize we are just left with two of them. But uh, we are again jumping on a wrangle, another chance for teams to just get anything out of the day, because as you were mentioning, there not any new names popping up, and which is not good for the competition, which is not good for the
Absolutely.
audiences to spice things up. But we are hoping it's an angle, anything can happen. Every team, they can go for that chicken dinner. They have that again, the chance, and it's easy map, not easy in a sense that it is easy, but easy for everybody knows every nook and cranny of the map. So it won't be an excuse for them that, oh, it's not a strong map, we couldn't do it well. So they do it sometime. But yeah, I'm expecting any new name to just pop in, and I'm just right next to your opinion. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see someone else to just raise up for that chicken dinner.
Yep. I mean, in the starting itself, you said it's the time of sharing. So let's just share the meal with a few more teams now, because we've seen the
Yeah.
same names come up quite a few times now. But like, yeah.
Yes, it is the case.
And yeah, I'm really strongly wishing for it to be X Generation, because they have a very good performance going on for a really long time. Even today, they are stepping up a little now, but no chickens so far, none whatsoever. So I just want to see them have at least one, so that I can be like, okay, they are filling with their tummies full.
Acceleration, the way they started the PMPL, especially on the first day, everybody was saying, "Oh, they are the PMSC, champions. They are here to dominate." But teams like Seventh Element, 141, they just start taking those small chunks out of their performances and eventually leaving X Generation with nothing. But today, as you mentioned, they're showing that intent, especially in the match of Miramar, the way they were just cruising through the teams, the way they were giving those finishes. It showed a ray of hope for everyone out there, the X Generation fans, that they will eventually get a good match at the end of the day. But yeah, it's a wrangle. Well, we can expect from X Generation, but kind of more, I would say this, that X Generation's performance, it mostly relies on two of the players, especially Shamir Boy and the Hunter. If
Yes,
both of these
yes.
players are alive, they're up, they're fragging, things are going well, everything is hunky dory for team X Generation. But the moment either of these guys fall, it's again that trickle down effect. It's in the whole team couldn't hold themselves, and eventually losing to the pressure of opposition. But we are moving into the fourth match of the day, and this time around just slightly changed playing path, kind of a straight
Finally.
line, but it's yeah,
Yeah.
finally. And more of focusing and helping out the teams on the northern side of the map. So Snovica is out of reach, Novorupno is out of the reach, but let's see if we could finally get a main island circle. We've been seeing multi-island circles. Previous circle was also a difficult one, as we saw the woodcutter camp. It's a difficult terrain. You cannot hold on to any of these places for much long. But I want to see something around school, something around Yasnaya, Polyana, or maybe shooting range. I'm not wishing much, but Yana, what would you say? I deserve something out of the day, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But like, yeah, I mean, in this one, I feel like now that the plane path is this northern, I'm like, okay, come on, Team Star, show me something. Show me what you're made of.
Yes.
Because they do love to
Yes.
go to Siverny. That's like their favorite drop spot. So now that they're getting the chance to do that, I want to see them show up, step up, and be like, okay, you know what? We do have the metal, and we're going to prove it to you. So that's just something I'm waiting for.
Agree.
Oh my god, what? Okay.
Yeah, and it's the circle is also converging at their drop location. So what else they would wish for? But
Exactly.
let's see what Team Star have for us. It's the final match for them for the day. Group A will be sitting on the benches in the final match, so they won't be playing their favorite map, Sanhok. But this time around, it's the final chance of the day. They have to get maximum out of it. We are seeing Aegon XIA dropping right next door to Rozhawk. 141 is also in Rozhawk. So let's see how things work out for Team Aegon in Water City and Ruins area. But much of the, I would say, map, especially the play area, is empty. Stalber is open for grab. Kamishki, you can go there, especially Team QR can make that rotation. We have XGeneration. They can make that rotation because XGeneration, they like to loot split up. They can go for the quick vehicles and start closing into the Stalber. Stalber, again, a tricky location on the map to hold on to. It's an open area. Then we have a network of ridges down towards Savigny side. But at the same time, it gives you an opportunity to look down into the valley and pick for those easy kills. And I believe so. Team whoever captures Stalber first will have a greater chance of getting the chicken dinner.
That's true. I don't know what's going on in the heads of Team Grounders. Like they're
Yeah.
all the way at Primos.
Yeah,
Uh,
they have this ritual. They always do. So they're there for that ritual. Once they will have their sacrifice and everything done and dusted, then they will leave Primos and eventually get to the circle.
well, I hope that sacrifice is not from the own team because then, well,
Yeah.
there's nothing left to do for them. But yeah, also I've seen Seventh Element as well. They have some
Yeah.
enmity with the circle. I've been
Yeah.
noticing for a couple of days. Every single time they want to drop away from the circle, whether it's their
Circle comes to
preferred
them.
spot or not. Yeah, exactly. They're like, we're not gonna chase you, buddy. You come to us.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, definitely. There are a few phrases coming into my mind. And obviously, these are not shareable phrases, but it looks like there is kind of some favoritism going from the side of play area for Seventh Element, and they're chasing the Kings, right? And the way Seventh Element been playing, they need these kind of favors to stay on the top. If they try to go slightly away from the circle, they somewhat end up being in the center and in the prime location. The previous match is a good example. You see, it's been a pretty long time they've been in that compound where they eventually, in the very last moment of the map, they had to leave that compound. Otherwise, they had their good time for a quite long throughout that match in that compound, and they didn't have much of the contenders coming in, trying to capture that compound from them, which is a good thing for the survival. But they couldn't get much of the frag points, so they have to be in the open. They have to be out there for the hunt, and otherwise, Seventh Element will be just having those matches, where 3-4 frags in their backpack and just a second position or something, which is not good for them overall.
Absolutely. However, I do feel like there's a great, disparity between the teams when it comes to drop locations. Like, I was expecting 52 Esports to go to their main drop location and have like an initial clash with Team BABLU. It was pretty in
Yeah.
reach. They do go to George Pole mostly towards the northern island, but they did not this time. And I'm like, okay. So that's a change of plans. I hope it works out for them because there is nothing that is working out for them so far. And well,
Oh,
there it is. I'm sorry, I
there
even
you
took the
go.
name. It's a curse.
It is what it is. 52 esports, if they won't be careful enough, HR, they're looking for those eliminations, they're looking for that points, much needed points for HR, and they will grab those points if they've been served this well. So talking about this particular map, it's a HR game, I would rather say. They have no one around them. They will have plenty of time to rotate into the circle, and if they will keep everything like kind of disciplined in a way, they will eventually get a good match out of it, 8 to 10 points for themselves. But so far, with this first elimination in their backpack, I believe this thing will serve as a confidence for their team, for their squad, to just start their game on a good start, I would rather say.
Well, definitely they have started on a good position, but I feel like there's something lacking when it comes to HR and their strats. Like I did see them hold the bridge a couple of times, specifically near the military base towards the Novorepnoye side. They did it
Yep.
really badly. Like,
Look at this.
they could not get a single frag out of that hole. They just got eliminated, and well, there it is. Elimination, once you start talking about it, someone has to be taken down, and there it is. Trades coming in from the side of TFD and Team BABLU.
Yeah, TFD already, they have experienced their first loss, and on the other side, Freestyler is pushing straight forward. These guys have no fear at this moment. Freestyler low on HP, getting knocked out from reviews. Now it's time for two of these players to make up for the mistakes that rest of their teammates did. But BABLU, I believe it's easy for them now. It's 2 versus 4 situation. The guy is back on his feet, Wasi, and he would like to participate more into the fight. And I believe so Team BABLU won't let these guys leave, but let's see what's going on in the minds of Team BABLU. I believe they will chase the players of TFD, and it's a good decision for TFD to leave because there's nothing much left for them. But Team Tough is right next door. Leon is getting that damage, and Haji will take down another one. Izzy is the final player, feeling slightly lonely, and he has to go for his own solo survival now. So look, I believe not an urban place. Urban place is not good for survival. You will have all those distractions, but go for the woods. Go for some places where nobody would expect you to be there. But TFD, another bad start of the match, and losing 3 of their players in the initials. Not a good picture, not a good thing to have. But I believe Team BABLU and Team Tough, they will wait for them. But Blue Zone is closing in, and it's time for Team Tough and Team BABLU as well to leave for the next play area.
Well, definitely, we will have to see these teams make their way into the next play area, but it seems like easy. I mean, okay, let's see how far you're able to travel, because 3 members have already been taken down. There's a lot of damage coming onto him. The play zone is already out of reach. He can make it back in, but is it gonna be of any use? I mean, maybe just save the frag point. It's too soon for me to say that, but then again, I haven't seen TFD step up as much so far. And again, oh my god, 52 esports.
Yeah,
Again.
52 esports. Yes, again, that's the whole thing. That's, again, I'm telling you, a few of these guys, they believe in rituals and they do it no matter what happens, wherever the circle is. But Team BABLU on the other side, they will eventually get HR in front of them, and I believe this time around HR will get some value out of this mix. HR, all of those players are on the vehicles. Few of them stepped out, and it's time where they will pretty much clean their horns into each other, and Team BABLU will have this fight happening. Team BABLU, IGL, Team Wolf getting eliminated. So HR, they're feeling themselves. They have 2 eliminations in their backpack. 4 of their players are surviving. I believe it's of no use if HR lose any of their players here, because they are having that momentum, and just losing their players while just looking for extra frags is not a good idea, especially this early in the game. But in the kill field, we are seeing Team Star versus Team Freestyle happening. Team Freestyle taking another one down, and there you go, game over with 1 M16A4. 2 headshots landed, and Miracle and Fury helping their team to just survive somehow. 2 of these players confirmed the whole squad, and look at those faces, those smiles on the faces of Team Star, Fury and Miracle. 2 guys just hold on to their positions and wiped out the whole squad of Freestyle weren't expecting this to happen in this very situation, but getting eliminated with a M16A4, not a good sight, not a good experience. They must be tasting lead till now, and the way those headshots being placed, but very good performance by the players of Team Star.
Well, absolutely. I do feel like Team Star is stepping up quite a bit, but look at that. Egan X8 did make sure that they are getting some frags, but I mean, it's Team Negatives, so I mean, anybody can do it.
Yeah, but Team Negative, they have shown, especially their team-to-team fight skills. I must say, I was impressed with their day 1 performance against some of the big names, especially their fight against Egon X8 in the Miramar yesterday. in which QR eventually got the chicken dinner. But they have that kind of gameplay. But this time around, Team QR giving another knockout on the players of Negative Esports. Negative Esports already lost one of their players to the players of Aegon Excite, and this time QR, they're pushing straight in and taking down Buzzard with a vehicle, but a shotgun couldn't work out, and Shahid, the final player, couldn't do much. Just a few steps here and there, and laid down for his final peaceful sleep. But Team QR, with 3 of their eliminations in the backpack, will move forward and look for another place to just hold on to just for this day for a while. But GG's, good start to the QR, but not a good start for Team Freestyle and Team Negative Esports.
Well, Team Negative Esports, well, I don't know. It's not a good start. I think it's an end altogether. Looking at TG, I was expecting bigger things from the team. They were so confident going all the way to Primorsk, doing their ritual. I felt like it would turn out into something good. Didn't happen. But like 7th Element, they are dropping as well. Okay. Maybe it's just a rest day, or maybe they are not doing their best anymore. They have gotten the the taste of the power, and now they're just floating by in the air. They need to put their feet back on the ground if they want to try again.
Yeah, kind of feels like this is the situation, but it's too early to say. Still, they have 3 of their players surviving, and I wouldn't say I'm still rooting for them, but Tabby was slightly away from the squad, and that's what he got punished from Aegon XI8. And once Aegon realized that being split up, playing as solo players is not working out for them. Since then, you might have noticed from the last 2 matches, they've been pretty close to each other. All of these guys, they've been taking fights as teams and as a team, and so far it's working out for them. They're getting few frags, but not those finishing touches that they are known for. And I believe this is the time where it's good to realize now rather than after week 2, after the finish of week 1. But I believe Aegon XI8 will raise up to their deserving position in possibly tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the first day of the week 2. But so far, we are seeing different players claiming the chicken dinners every map. Once in a while, we saw 7 Element was the only team claiming 2 of the chicken dinners yesterday. But Restpin is like every time we have a new winner in every match, which is a good thing. But seeing in this particular match, I'm still counting on Star. They have 4 eliminations in their backpack. Their hometown is pretty much captured by 141, and XGeneration is the center of the circle. But let's see how long these guys will stay out of their hometown.
Well, we'll definitely have to see how much long they're gonna stay on foreign land. But that just, this is something that I do not know will work out for them or not. Because like, if you are trailing that far away from your pick, it's just not the best way to go, because again, you do have a pick and that is for a reason. You're most comfortable there, that's why you go there. I don't know how our teams are trying to do this one. I do expect a lot of new things coming in from every team, because every single match has become very, very important, considering the way the whole point structure has divided itself, and the bonus match addition and everything. So I do expect to see new things coming in from them all the time, but I do not know how many new things can you make yourself comfortable with, how many new things can you make yourself used to of. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many new dishes you try out, how many new restaurants you go to, home food is home food.
Yeah, there you go. But we are seeing Team R3G versus Team HR. HR being split up slightly more than Team R3G. They're close. Avenger on the other side getting eliminated from the side of Team 141. They're also joined the party. 141, slightly a moment ago, we were seeing them in Savarni, and now they're outside Savarni. But R3G, Roshan, is low on HP. He just laid down into the Molotov, but 141, they are also into the mix. HR is losing their players for nothing, and this is where Waz will confirm the final player. But there you go, Nubix confirming the final player on R3G, and now they have the time to revive their players. But 1-4-1, they are joining in. It's a third party situation. Sabi on the other side, he has to be that line of defense, first line of defense for HR, but HR losing players here and there. It's Tier versus 1-4-1. Tier taking one more down. It's a 1v1 situation, but Sirius won't make the same mistake which other HR player did, and HR with the good start, now they are left with nothing. JD and Sirius, two of the surviving players for team 141, they have to leave for the play area, but so far they managed to get few eliminations for themselves, but Star is eyeing on these guys. They're leaving, but let's see how far they can get. And 141, JD and Sirius are the only surviving player, but within no time we just witnessed R3G and then HR leaving for the lobby. And this is what happens when you take fight outside blue zone. You have the pressure, you have the time bomb ticking. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we will definitely be seeing quite a few disparities coming in between these teams. Range is really close to these teams right now, and we are seeing actually four teams stacked up near that area. Who do you think has the best chance here, Son? There's Tough, there's I think 141 official around there. Team Star is also there, if I'm not wrong, and well, it just looks very crowded.
I believe it's all about it's time when especially team BABLU will take an aggressive positioning. If they split up and try to go for those angles which can give them a clear vision on the sides of the shooting range, they will eventually get Tough out of this mix. But we have TFD also in there, the solo survivor is also in there. It could be a risky thing to do for team BABLU being split up too much, but team Tough have a very fair chance to survive here, because the way they're holding the outskirts of shooting range, they can give a hard time to team Star. But 141, now they were being gatekeep, now they can gatekeep team Star, and some of these kills can be shared among team Tough and team 141, and possibly XGeneration as well, because circle has already shifted down south. There's a hard shift. 7 elements somehow they are into the circle again. That thing is happening, and 7 element have the southern side of the circle, but they already lost one of their players, so man advantage is not there. But still, being in the circle is still a peace of mind.
Absolutely, it definitely keeps you from a lot of hassle, and a lot of pressure is released knowing that you're already inside the safe area. However, talking about man count, it feels like Seventh Element is not going to be very quick to lose anymore, because again, all of the teams are towards the northern side of the circle. So even if they move in, unless they are trying to go for a ridiculous rotation the way Felak is, we might be seeing them concentrated among themselves and trying to pick off fights there, and anyone can lose
Oh,
players at
look
that
at
point. Oh my god, style points to Shamir boy.
Shamir boy is going for those risky eliminations, and I believe he will get JD as well. The smoke is giving away the position. It's the right time where he changed his position, but how long he's gonna stay there? Shamir will come with the following utility as well. XGeneration Thug is also there. They want to confirm that elimination, but Team Tough will have to take care of Team Star. Team Star losing their players here and there, and now they're left with their final standing player. One is knocked down, as I was expecting. Team Tough on the other side will get those eliminations in their backpack, and 52 Esports alongside Team Tough will take one by one players of Team Star. Final surviving player, and I believe he won't survive for much long, but 141 JD, he is the final surviving player. How long he will survive? You're seeing some solos up there, but Team Tough will take care of it.
Absolutely, Team Tough will make sure that they're able to take care of everyone before they enter into the circle, and well, Team Star, tata bye bye to them for now. Aegon XI8, however, is gonna be a hindrance for the side of XGeneration, and well, I mean, yeah, I've been boasting about Aegon XI8 since the starting of the whole tournament. Even on the first day when we didn't even have any matches, I was, worshipping them literally. But right now, them taking off XGeneration just feels a little bit betrayal kind right now, because I do want to see XGeneration have something for themselves. But look at that. What? Okay, that is instant karma. That is instant karma. They just did that to someone else. Shamir boy went ahead and, took away a style point, and then Aegon XI8 was like, you know what? We'll do
We are
the
here
same.
for
Yeah.
these points as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's been going on. JD is out of the mix. Team Tough, as we were mentioning, would take care of it, and they took care of it. But Team BABLU losing their players, which is not a good sign. They had a very good position, but Blue Zone is dishing out all that pressure, all that damage to the players of BABLU. Another player down. Joker will confirm BABLU ban, and Review's position is already compromised, and he will get down to the players of our team. Aegon, or maybe to the Blue Zone as well. But Reviews was taken down by Aegon X8 with that M4 with the Mini 14. But Team Tough versus Team I8 happening right now. It's Blue Zone pressuring them on the northern side to just get into the circle. But the Team 7 Element, Dokosaurus was down and he will get revived as well. This is the good thing about Team 7 Element. They are always proactive to pick up their fallen comrades. Otherwise, it is difficult for them to maintain this kind of manpower. It's rarely we see them losing their players to the revivals, but I8 with 7 eliminations, they are feeling themselves. Utility is being thrown to the side of 7 Element. 7 Element is in a difficult mix right now. In a kind of mess of a pickle, but Team QR is giving some damage to 7 Element players. Another knockdown on the side of 7E. They haven't got any of the kills so far, but Magnus Esports, the winner of the previous match, they have only 1 elimination in their backpack, but they're still possibly 4 men standing.
Well, absolutely. We are seeing a great, strong, man count coming in from the side of Magnus, but then there's going to be a knock. However, I feel like they're going to be very well equipped to go ahead and provide a revival.
Oh, 7
But seventh element elimination. I'm confused. Anyways, Tough has made their way far back. I mean, it's all the way to top 4 teams, but right now, it seems like Magnus and Aegon X8 do have a chance. I feel like if Aegon X8 takes this one, kudos to them, because they haven't taken anything today. They had very terrible performance yesterday as well. So it's time to buck back up. It's time to pick themselves back up. But yeah, Tough. I do want to see that team come as far along as possible because they need it. They desperately need it.
The problem with this position is 2 of the players of Aegon are pretty close to this, this small ridge that they have, and it will make it easy for the players of Team Tough to just, direct their utility in that side. But Team Tough is also getting attention from Magnus Esports, faster joining into the party and eventually take down Edgar, the main player. Stoger is one of the fraggers from Team Tough, and him falling down, it will slow things down for Team Tough as well. Blue Zone is pressuring up Team Tough to just push forward, and that's where the problem starts. Doger got revived just now, freshly revived player. He's feeling himself and he's going into the fight as well. But Joker Sir on the other side, he slowly and steadily creeped in, and he will be that backstabber for Team Aegon XI8. And now it's time where Tough Joker can make things difficult for I8. Uzum, he was expecting him to show up on this side, and Joker just fall into the trap, but Team Tough final player will get eliminated from the side of I8. Falak again getting eliminated. This guy has a big responsibility on his shoulders, but somehow he's the first one to dropping it down. But I8 on the other side losing another player. Team QR, they are just going for those vehicle kills. Whole of the QR is on the vehicles. Look at this. What are they doing? And now they are losing players. Magnus Esports taking one of the players from QR. Starboy is there. Starboy 1-1 confirming the player of QR Helsi, and now is taking one-on-one fight with Spark. Spark taking down Starboy, and Magnus Esports losing players one by one. But Spark has big responsibility. He has to take down, he has to pick up his player and also manage to just stay low profile before the whole QR can reset. Oh, beautiful hit.
Absolutely. Some beautiful nades getting connected right there, and QR is not going to have the opportunity of revival or of keeping the low profile that you were just talking about. They're just going to be losing one man. And with 11 frags, Aegon I8 right now looking like the one with the most man count advantage that can be there on the board. Muniano is going to be trying to make sure that he makes way for his team, where he can go ahead and make that spark revival work out. But Magnus, oh my god, faster 20. he is gonna have a great angle onto Uzm very, very quickly. And look at that. He's just adjusting himself with the play zone. But well, Uzm, if he looks right there, he would still probably miss out on this one.
Yeah, but the problem is Magnus faster doesn't have an idea where the rest of the players are. Even he takes the fight against Uzum, it will be difficult for him to go for the thirst, and that's what happened. Delay in making a decision eventually costing him his life. But Magnus Esports Japan solo survivor on the other side, QR, they managed to get the revival up for their player, and now they are pretty dispersed on the other side. They have the position advantage, they have a higher ground. It will give them a better vision for the players of Agon Xide. All the movement of on the lower edge of this hillside, it will give a good intel to the players of QR, and eventually they will make decision where to strike first. But spreading out, it's a good decision. But blue zone, it's about to close in. We are going to step into the 8th phase of the game. We still have time for all these players to survive, but how long is Zipian gonna survive? Zipian is a big threat, I'm telling you. This guy even staying solo, it can make things difficult for Team QR.
That's true. I mean, I've seen Zibian, and that's the moment when I started rooting for Magnus. He was literally left alone. Two of his teammates were knocked onto the floor. Actually, I guess three it was. And then he
Yes.
just goes ahead, eliminates the whole opponent team, and then revives every single one of his players. And I'm like, how?
It was Sanhok, right? It was
Yeah,
Sanhok against
yeah.
Team Star. Yeah, I do remember that. And it's been kind of these things this guy's been doing every now and then. And
Yep.
every PMPL season, it happens, maybe twice or thrice where he pulls up a clutch. But in this very situations, things are slowing down. And I believe Team QR will be the first one to take a pick on Agon Xide.
Well, if that happens, then QR will just solidify their
Oh,
position into
Zipian.
this last round. But yeah, Zibian could literally be a thorn in the road for both of them, literally.
Spark is not looking into that direction. This guy can backstab and can, just quench the, win expectancy from this guy. But Ted just giving out his position as well. Two of the players from Agon Xide, and their support taken down. It's a good start to start with. And Team I8 now have an upper hand. But all of the Team I8 have no idea where the rest of the QR is. They have the hard covers. They can make things difficult for rest of the players, but it could turn out to be, a 1 versus 2 situation if Agon Xide didn't realize that they are looking at the wrong place. But seeing the situation, zone is closing out in less than 3 seconds, and here we go. We are into the 9th stage. No more zone. We have these final few moments left, and before that, blue zone start closing in, and it would be difficult for teams like QR to manage. But QR, they have still a lot of time to wait. They have 2 minutes and 32 seconds to just stay at their place. Just don't make any noise till the blue zone will start pushing Agon Xide downhill, and that's where they can come up with their surprise and eventually surprise the players of I8.
Absolutely. Look at Munyanyo. He is so confident. He's already prepared for the dinner. He has his pan out sitting right next to him. He's like, okay, serve me the dinner. I'm ready for this one. And look at that. Oh my God. Yeah, they just have to be patient. That's all. Unless and until by luck or by some miraculous reason Agon Xide is able to, connect a beautiful nade onto Goku bot or something. It looks like if the time game is played, Agon Xide is going to be in a lot of trouble. They're very close to the edge, while QR has literal center of the circle right now.
Yeah, but Muniano could be the guy who will be pushed forward by the blue zone, but now is taking things matter into their own hand. Muniano with the nade taking down IQ. It's a 2v2 situation. Uzum is in a difficult position, and now it's time with
IQ is giving
QR.
intel.
Will go for that chicken dinner. It's a 1 versus 2 situation, but still, even if he's giving that intel, he is giving the intel for one player, not the two of them. But with the utility, I believe QR want to finish things out, and that's where problem starts.
Whoa.
And problem ends as well for Quantum Rage. And look at that guy punching the air with that kind of admiration and passion, I would say. But it is what it is,
It was unexpected. I mean, we were
Totally
talking
unexpected,
about
yes.
the pattern. We were talking about the pattern of QR. They generally do not make it to the dinner unless and until they have, all four of their members alive. They have a very team-oriented game, but then this time they just turned around and they were like, "We will even make a dinner, even if the other team has like more members than us alive in the last circle." Very well done, very well executed. The patience that the team holds was very, very important for them, and that literally turned the game around. And I guess that pan, it's filled now.
Dinner has been served, and it is winner chicken dinner for Team Quantum Rage. It will help them to get to the 5th position overall, but we'll discuss that later, guys. Before that, we're going on a small break, short break. We'll be right back after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
पहले ही कस्टमर्स नहीं आ रहे थे और आगे रमजान में तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं आएंगे। तुम सारा टाइम अपने दोस्तों के साथ आवारागर्दी में गुजार देते हो। इस तरह तो गुजारा हो ही नहीं सकता। खबरदार फोन को हाथ लगाया। ओ, आ गए होंगे तुम्हारे आवारा दोस्त।
क्या सीन है ब्रो, चला चले।
नहीं यार, आज गेम नहीं खेल सकता।
अहमद,
आ रहा हूँ मम्मी।
हाथ बढ़ाने से, साथ निभाने से, उम्मीद बांटने से खुशियाँ घटती नहीं बस बढ़ती है। वही देता है वही सुनता है जब भी दोगे तुम सदा। हाथ जो मिलते हैं रास्ते निकलते हैं, खुशियों में बदलते हैं, रौनक हर चेहरे पे खुद ही आ जाती है। वही देता है वही सुनता है जब भी दोगे तुम सदा।
क्या बात है बच्चों, दिल जीतने वाली गेम खेल गए।
तो आंटी आपके साथ भी एक स्क्वाड अप हो जाए।
हाँ, आ जाओ।
इस रमजान अपने स्क्वाड की गेम से बनो किसी की भलाई का मजबूत जरिया और खेलो सिर्फ दिल जीतने के लिए।
Welcome back, guys. After a short break, we are back on the desk for PMPL Pakistan 2023, and it's time to share. Just make sure you squad up with your friends and share the kindness. So, talking about this particular match, big maps, they're done, and QR eventually they got their chicken dinner. As Ihana was mentioning, the guy had his pan out. Already he knew he was going to get served, and he got served. But talking about the MVP, the most valuable player of this particular match was Team Aegon I8 Uzum with only 190 healing, 1000 plus damage, 6 eliminations, 7 knockouts, 2 assists. So his overall, I would say, a very well-balanced performance by this guy. And unfortunately, the team couldn't keep up in the final moments. They had the clear-cut man advantage. 3 versus 2. They tried to, take things in their own hands, matter in their own hands, but things didn't work out. The script didn't roll the way they wanted it to be. But QR eventually got the chicken dinner. Let's have a look on the top players, Zihana.
Absolutely. I mean, we do have 2 players from the side of I8 and then 2 from the side of QR as well. Almost everyone has equalized number of frags here. 5 for Goku, 5 for Blade, and 5 for Senior. While, Harris sir has 4.
Yes,
And
Harris,
Uzm has 6. It took me a second to read the name. For a second, I was like, hair. Okay, Harris sir. I think about my hair a lot, so that's it.
There's a joke I would like to share with you behind his name, Harris. Back in the days, this guy was playing with his team R3D, and they qualified for the PMPL, and they were playing against Team Deadeye's guys. Okay. So every guy on the team of Deadeye's guys, they have Sir at the end of their names, like if you remember. So from the joke, this guy took the Sir thingy into his name, and since then he's been putting right next to his name. Sometime he's putting his names like Virus Sir or his in-game name Joker Sir. So just out of the joke, but it's a funny thing to have. But talking about this particular match ranking, guys, we have Quantum Rage on the top with 11 eliminations. I8, they had a very good chance to make it a 24 total point match, but with second spot with 14 eliminations, they managed to get 20 points for themselves. On the second page, we are seeing 7th Element with only 3 placement points, no eliminations, which is not a good thing to see on the guy on the side of 7th Element, but still they have one more match left for the day. But Group A on the other side, it was their final match of the day, and they won't be playing the Sanhok. So Aegon XIA, Team TG, Team TFT, and I believe, which was the final one, Team Star, they're not going to play the final match. So it's a fair open chance for teams to go for those drops locations, especially on the eastern side of the map where Team I8 likes to drop, and they have an open area. But talking about these highlights, guys, this match, the most highlighted moment I would rather say was Team Star against Team Freestyle. The whole team, they were being packed and delivered in no time. And another extensive third-party fight between Team HR and Team 141. 3 of the guys showed up to the party from 141 and cleared the whole thing up for themselves. But again, losing the players, this early in the match doesn't go well for you. And eventually, we saw the demise of 141 as well in a short span of time.
Absolutely, we did see the teams lose pretty early on for a few, but then the last few circles were very, very emphasizing, and I mean I am impressed nonetheless. But yeah, Econex I8, I feel a little bit of ache for them, because again they did really well. They had a good number of frags, but yeah, QR just turned out to be the better one. Their pan helped them. I'm telling you, it was about the dinner, so having the pan out just helped them. If everyone from Aegon XIA had thrown their pans out as well, they would have won. They could have won.
There could be a possibility that dinner would be served in their pan, who knows? Dinner doesn't know which pan it is. So PMPL Pakistan, overall leaderboard after match number 16, I guess so, for a few of the teams, and 15 for others. So Aegon XIA, they have improved their position pretty drastically. They're on the top, into the top 5 now. But seeing on the other side, we are seeing Team Star, not much of the improvement. The Potty Devils, they are also struggling, being on the bottom side of the leaderboard. We have HellRaisers. For the first time, they left the 20 spot now on 19th. This is kind of a sign of improvement, but I'm hoping they will eventually get more, paced up in the race, and they will eventually get into the on a deserving spot where they should be, because they have the kind of experience and they can do better than this.
Absolutely. I am expecting a lot from a lot of teams, because again, we have 12 invited and 8 qualified teams. They all have played a lot and have proven their mettle every time. So this is again one more slot where they just have to do it. I mean, they all have the potential. They just have to match up to it and show it again in this match, in this series, to make sure that they get to the grand finals and have 3 more days of glory.
Yeah, 3 more days of glory and a big chance to winning a good chunk of that prize pool, because at the end of the day, it's a big motivator for a few of the guys out there, and it can just lower the barrier of more of the resistance coming from their guardians, from their parents as well, because now they're making something out of this. They're not just wasting their time. And at the same time, glory is there. There is prize pool associated, but you feel good for themselves that I've been investing this much time into the game, and I'm good than most of the lobby, and I have done better than most of the teams. So this could be a motivation for the guys out there, and I wish them best of luck, whoever is aiming for that top 16 positions. But it's time. We have to go for the final match, which is Sanhok. Momentarily, we will see the schedule as well. Group A is on the benches. We have Group B, C, D, and E will be playing this match. So 7 Element have one more chance to get a chicken dinner for themselves for the day. But still, they are on the first spot. Doesn't matter. Even if they don't get a chicken dinner, they have no one to, there's no one that is kind of challenging their first position except Magnus Esports. If Magnus Esports get out of this match pretty early, it'll be easy for them to just hold on to the first position, Ehana.
Absolutely. By the kind of lead they maintained for themselves until yesterday, today it feels like they're literally on cruise control. They're like, okay, let the game take us where it wants to take us. We're still going to be safe. We're still going to be fine. So let's just roll with the flow. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm seeing the players doing from the side of Seventh Element. I still am yet to see a chicken dinner coming in for the side of XGeneration. I am waiting for it. It's been the third day already. I mean, 3 days already. It's the fourth one going on, and I'm still like, bring it up for me, guys, please. But yeah, let's see. Let's see if they're able to deliver that. But yes, Sanhok, my favorite map. I love this map, and I've said this every single time it shows up. So I guess the audience is gonna have to hear this from me like 10 plus 3, 13 times.
it is one of the most played map in PUBG Mobile because it's it's fast paced. It gives you that adrenaline that you're looking for, and it gives you those quick loot with quick fights because it's a small map. It's more of teams get aggregated at one position, especially around boot camp area because boot camp is kind of a go-to place. Is that party place where everybody would like to go and. This time around, we aren't seeing some of the contenders there because I was expecting team QWERTY to show up into the boot camp, but they are not. QWERTY is going somewhere else, I guess so, and we have to just notice where they're going this time around. But rest of the teams, they are going to their positions where they mostly appear. So Team Tough is going for that dispersed loot, and there we go. As I was expecting, an early fight between Team Tough and what was that, Adnan? What was that, my brother? You just left your gun and went for that fist fight, but Joker sir, he just managed to take him down, low on HP. He will get that healing done as well, and the first frag goes to the name of Team Tough, Joker sir. Yes, Haris sir.
You do not mess with Pikachu.
Yes.
Yes, his shirt
But in
literally resembled. Literally had Pikachu drawn on it, and he went in with that electric energy into the game.
yes,
I
and
mean,
again
yeah.
we sorry to cut you off. Again, it's Joker sir. This is
Yeah.
Joker sir. You cannot mess with Joker sir.
Absolutely. HellRaisers, however, they do want to take their revenge, but they know they cannot take it alongside Tough, so they're just gonna switch up teams, and freestylers are
Oh,
gonna
look at
face
this! Look
the
at this!
Rab.
This guy is not expecting.
Woo!
Oh,
That's a welcome.
oh, that's not the right way to welcome your guest, but it is what it is. Fezzy with the support coming in, and now freestyle after losing drop shot, they have I believe 2 eliminations in their backpack. HR losing their players early on. 1 to the Tough, 2 to the hands of freestyle, and where's the final HR player? I believe he's not close by, and we'll go for that final. He, kind of survival strat, which is not a good idea in Sanhok. It's very difficult for a solo player to survive, but it is what it is. Team freestyle will confirm their kill, confirm their elimination, and not an ideal start, but something is better than nothing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Something is better than nothing. But when specifically talking about the map of Sanhok, you can be third party any minute from anywhere. Once you start moving out of your compound, you're gonna be taken down very easily. So you do want to make sure that all of your players are alive, specifically in the starting phase, specifically at the place where you chose to drop. Because if you're losing players at your drop location itself, then things are looking really bad for your team. Because again, there's just so many places in this map that you can be shot down from, and exactly that happening. Team QWERTY loses a member to the hands of freestylers.
Yeah, freestylers, they have that kind of momentum starting in, but they're losing their players. But on the other side, we are seeing Team QWERTY. Also, their player is knocked out. He's pretty forward. Team Tough can have a good eye on that player and can eventually also take down the player who will go for the revival. But freestyle on the other side, losing 2 of their players, not an ideal start as we were mentioning. But this time around, it's again difficult for them. But most of the times, whenever there are 2 players of freestyle surviving somehow, they manage to get a better position. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, we do see, freestylers actually running better on duels than on the whole squad. However, I feel like that's not the best thing to do. I mean, if you want to go ahead for a much longer game, you want to make sure that you're
Oh
able
my
to play with
goodness.
all force, play on all force. But well, 52 esports. Finally, something good coming in from this team. So, okay, yay, hooray.
This place is cursed, I must say. That anyone who is getting into the fight, they're losing their players. And 52 Esports just came out of nowhere and took one frag from Team QWERTY. And Team QWERTY, again, they weren't expecting to lose their player like this. But as part of the Sanhok script, and this happens every now and then, it could be your day when you could be on the site collecting those frag, and could be the day where you're giving those out, you know. And it's time to share, right? We were saying that pre-match as well. So Freestyle on the other side, left with Black and Fezzy, IGL, and the newcomer is there. But Team Tough, good thing for them is they didn't lose any player. They have 4 of their players up. Now they're on the loot. They're in a premium location. They don't have a fear or any, expected arrivals from the east side, because Team I8 is not playing and 52 Esports is on their location, which is not a big of a threat for Team Tough at this very moment. Team 52 Esports don't use those route of rotation as the Team I8 uses. So Team Tough always have this at the back of their mind that at any point of time it could be a possibility I8 coming in. But what is this going on? These guys are having a conversation, I guess.
Yes, and it's a very serious one. So basically,
It looks
this
like.
statue around here, this mannequin, it's one with a spirit. There's a spirit locked inside this statue, and that's the spirit of all the players that have already been eliminated.
Yeah.
And Freestylers is now talking to them to find out which team has least players, where they are, and how to fight with them. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, probably also consulting with the ones from their team.
Well, did he just start flying? See, I was telling you there's a spirit inside the mannequin.
Absolutely. The spells are working out, so
Yes.
you can't say anything. But Team 3X, another welcome home with a shotgun. And I'm telling you, this is becoming an custom for most of these teams. They're welcoming all their new, new guests in the proximity with these shotguns, and it's not a good sight to see. But NES on the receiving end, Team 3X getting their first elimination of this match, first taste of that elimination in the match. And North Esports, they're not happy with this situation. They're gonna leave this place at their earliest. But 141 also popping up into the kill feed, which is normal in Sanhok to see all these frags being poured out this early in the match.
Well, our teams are definitely going to have to come back into the circle, one, and make sure that once they're in the circle, they're also on the leaderboard. That's true. But yeah, I mean, for right now, it's a moment of glory for the side of Team Tough, because, like, for once, they're at the top. At least for now. It's not going to stay that way for long, but at least for now.
It's pretty rare to see Team Tough, struggling, because the kind of gun skill these guys have, oh my goodness. Don't ask me what they got, but look at this. Oh, this guy didn't even move. And look at the smile on the face of Joker, sir. He knew which team player he just eliminated, because this was the same guy from Team HR.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to get heads on with the first player of HR at the start of the match. So he's happy. But Negative Esports versus Team QWERTY, 2 of the players of Team QWERTY are there, and Wolverine is trying to come up with a setup. This guy is an intellectual player. I really like the way he pull off these strats, but look at this, the way he's creating those angles. He'll eventually punish one of the players from Negative Esports, but one more player from Negative Esports is coming in, and that's where the problem starts. That's where the problem starts. And Guru taken down from Wolverine, but it's blue zone now. It's blue zone time now. Wolverine changing his position. Pinkman is looking for the position of Wolverine, but it's time where Team Negative Esports have to come up with a strategy. Otherwise, OG69 will jump into the mix and will keep on dealing more damage to the players of Negative Esports.
I have no idea what negative esports was even trying to get done here. Like, you don't use vehicles on Sanhok. You do not.
Yep.
That's a no. That's a big no. Everyone around you will know where you are
Look
exactly.
at that. Look at Wolverine.
And take the fight.
Look at
Yep.
Wolverine.
Oh god.
This guy, the way he just created those angles, this is clinical. Look at this. Look at this. He is just putting all of the Negative Esports to the misery. And now it's Shahid, only one left. Blue zone is not giving that kind of damage, which can, at the end of the day, make things worse for Team QWERTY. But it's like in a 2v4 situation, wiping out a whole squad like this will definitely boost their confidence. Shahir with the smokes, with the utility, now let's see, he'll be able to give any sort of damage. Buzzard will also get flushed out by the side of Team QWERTY, but Shahir is not giving his position away. But Wolverine, this guy has those skills to spot out players in Sanhok. I've played alongside this guy personally, and this guy is GG's, man. He can spot players in Sanhok like it's nothing, and the way he 1v3'd the whole squad, that's amazing to see.
Absolutely. However, I do feel like losing two of your players.
Yeah, early on, yes, it's a bad thing to have.
Look at the circle. It's literally having, Painan a little to the north of the center. And bootcamp is still inside, but then the bootcamp team has already rotated in. And okay, we're gonna have a quarry circle.
Yeah,
Everybody.
it's a good news for Team Freestyle and Team QWERTY. Both of these guys are on the same eastern side, but most of the goodies are on the western side of the circle, and we're gonna see those skirmishes breaking down now. But talking about Magnus Esports on the northern side, 4 of their players are still alive. Haven't got the taste of any eliminations yet, but I'm pretty sure they will get few on 3x and eventually on some of the guys moving from outside, especially in Painan 141 and Team R3G. But North Esports, they have to move forward. They're also the squad with 2 players alive. We are seeing 3 squads with the 2 of their players alive, which is making things more interesting. But which side is Team NES? NES is pretty far from the circle. They have to go for the long rotation, and also Team XGeneration is eyeing on them. And look at this Thug, the way he took down Maz. This is humiliating.
It definitely is. But right now, it seems like XGeneration is looking forward to that chicken this time. Finally, I might see that happen. The thing I've been waiting for so long. But right now, the rotation is going to be of the first priority. Chickens can be later, because if you do not survive, then what you even gonna eat?
Look at that.
No, I just cursed them.
Yeah, it is what it is. We just mentioned their name and they start falling apart, and that's where the problem starts. XGeneration, now they have 2 of their players out pretty much. They cannot revive. It's 3rd phase of the game, and the blue zone damage is too much. Even Thug will go for the revival. The moment that guy will pop his head up, it will go down again. But Team QR on the other side getting damage from OG69. Bot is down. These guys are picking frags on the battlefield, and possibly Spark could be the next one getting eliminated as well. But this guy somehow survived. Let's see if he will be able to pick up his fallen comrade on that pixel of an HP. But Team Tough on the other side, they're also listening to all these noises and possibly would like to jump into the mix. But Team Freestyle, Team Tough, they are just looking around, and Team QWERTY have a very good place into the circle for now, but possibly have to move in the coming circles.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, before moving any further into discussing the game, I just want to give a call to production and ask them if they can put me on an extreme corner of the screen once we go back, because I would need a corner to cry in, considering the fact that I cursed the team that I've been waiting to see for so long. So yeah, if that is possible, I'd be very grateful.
Yeah.
I could even offer dinner for that. But yeah, going back into the game. Team QWERTY. For a second, I felt like this would be the team this time. And the second, I did not even have to speak this time. The moment I started thinking that, they started falling apart. I don't know what to do. I should probably take medication to shut my brain off, because that way I won't be able
Oh
to
my
think
goodness.
and nothing will happen to the players.
Oh,
I
players
have
own
their best
XGeneration is
interest.
out.
Exactly. I mean, I have their best interests in mind, but then my mind is
Uh,
making
Not
everything
acting in
go
the best
opposite.
interest of those
Exactly.
teams.
Exactly. I mean, all
Sometimes
right.
you cannot explain all these things. These are
Yeah.
paranormals. Yeah, they're above the explanation. So yeah, your psychic powers are strong, I can say that, and Sanhok teams are feeling it already. But on the other side, on the contrary, team QWERTY, they managed to get OG69 revived, and now it's time to move towards the same location where Team QR is, and possibly they could come across the players of Team QR, especially Muniano. He is waiting for that point. There you go, Muniano taking down OG and Wolverine both in one spray, and Team QWERTY is out of this game. We are left with top 9 teams. All these teams are pretty situated into the circle. Freestyle is still surviving with 2 of their players. 7 Element, as we always say, circle comes for them. They don't go for the circle. And 7
Yeah.
Element now again, they're posing a big threat to the players of Magnus Esports. Magnus Esports, the good thing for them is they are pretty closed, they're pretty packed. It's difficult for Team 7E to just breach into their compounds or breach their defenses. But it's difficult again. But QR on the other side taking down the players of H2E. H2E Rex is getting eliminated, and H2E is left with 3 of their players. Only 1 elimination in their backpack in the shape of the players of XG for H2E, but H2E is kind of more, I would say, now difficult times are on H2E. H2E have to get into the circle, but they have Team Tough in their way, which is not a good thing to have.
Absolutely. Right now, the circle is on to shrinking,
Look at
and the
this setup.
players are definitely chasing time. But this setup is definitely going to be very, very, problematic. Even 3x might not have an easy way in, I guess.
I'm talking about 141 3x. They are holding on. Like 141, they just lost one of their players, and now being on the bottom ledge for 141, it's difficult for them to come up. It's a
I saw the
difficult
circle opposite.
climb. Yeah, could happen to anyone. So 141 on the other side, they are getting bombarded with all these utilities. Janaza, his position is pretty compromised. Now he'll get knocked down with the nades of Kira. Comeback is also jumping in as 2 versus 4 situation. 3x will go for the finish, and now it's time where Sirius can do the magic for the team, but Zarbaf low on HP. Janaza, his skill will be confirmed. Sirius position is also revealed, and the final player will get eliminated as well. It's JD, and his position compromised. Let's see how long he will survive, but it is what it is. 3x eliminated Team 141. What a great setup, I must say. And this hillside, we see these kind of skirmishes, these kind of massacres on this side. This is a very difficult hill to climb, because there are too many boulders. You're always guessing which boulder has a player beside it, but it's a demise of 141. But the setup that the 3x set it up for 141, now Magnus Esports is taking a good out of it.
Well, Magnus Esports just dishing out instant karma to 3x. 3x will definitely have to, reconsider investing into this fight. The best way is to walk out and walk out safe. But Magnus Esports, so far in the number of frags, they are trailing way far behind than before. But then the
Look at this
oh my god,
mistake.
that was a big blunder, not even just a mistake. It was
It
very...
was what's the point of going out of the blue zone, just look for more frags? But Zarbaf is low on HP, he'll bleed out definitely. He has to get into the circle and eventually be being hunted down by the players of Magnus Esports as well. But Magnus losing faster, their front end assaulter, and now it's not a good side to have. But Magnus Esports, they're moving forward. 3x comeback, the final player, he's been bombarded with bullets in the back, and that's what it is. This is how you end in Sanhok. sometimes. But 7 elements, they are into the circle. They have freestyle right next to them, QR as well. Freestyle lost one of their players, so it's not a big of a threat for 7 element. So it's now down to R3G, Magnus, and I believe so 7 element. 7 element haven't got any of the eliminations yet, but the man advantage can really help them, go for that chicken dinner.
Absolutely. However, they do need to be really, really careful against Quantum Rage. If Quantum Rage is able to pick off anyone, they're gonna be on a roll, and then they'll be unstoppable. Freestylers are not someone to worry about. There's literally just one player remaining. Magnus, again, they do have 3 players on their side, but they are eager to invest in fights, and they're also very, very close to Reggie's side, so there might be a couple of losses on each side from there. So the one team that 7th element needs to worry about the most is Quantum Rage. Tough X again does have all players alive, but then because we haven't seen them come up so far yet, I feel like statistically I wouldn't give them the benefit just yet.
Yeah, but seeing their track record over the past few years, I would say there's a fair chance that our team Tough have a very good chance of getting the chicken dinner. But seeing the numbers, I believe so QR has a better eye-hand coordination so far. They are getting those eliminations. They have 12 eliminations already in their backpack, and it will give them kind of a more in-game advantage because they have dealt with more players and they have scored more eliminations, so it will be easy for them to spot all these players. But talking about Magnus Esports, the position they are holding, it's very easy for them to actually eventually get the players of 7 elimination, 7th element on the other side. They're having a hard time. They're trying to get into the circle. They're on a steep ledge right next door to Magnus and QR, but QR getting their player knocked out like this is not good for their survival, I must say.
Well, that's very correct, but well, right now QR is getting deeper into the hard stuck point because they have already
beautiful nade.
They did make a beautiful nade there. They are already in the process of Magnus. They're gonna cover that up with the smoke, but then they are gonna eliminate 7th element on the 5th position with 0 frags. Not looking good for 7th element at all.
Yeah, but Team QR, what are they made of this in this match? Like the way they are pushing forward, getting the value. Look at the 12th frag this guy is trying to get for himself, especially I'm talking about Muniano. It's his 12th frag. Overall 11 frags already confirmed single-handedly, which is a very, very good performance, individual performance. But talking about Magnus Esports after losing their player, I guess so, they will be on a silent mode. We'll wait for Team Tough and Team QR to eventually get into a fight and then try to pick the remainings. But Magnus Esports on the other end, they have the circle advantage. They have to just wait for QR to just push in. QR still have to make few more yards to eventually get out of the range of blue zone. But on the other side, R3G taking one down. Muniano getting taken down, and Muniano confirms both of them. What is happening? What the heck is happening? This guy have 13 eliminations in his backpack, and this is where I would recommend him to pick his fallen comrade and go for the circle and try to revive him there. But he can eventually revive all of his players. They have only one tree trunk as a cover, but this way they have a fair chance of surviving, and I believe so it's Team QR's chicken dinner because the way these guys are playing, it's just really hard to say that from here they will let the chicken dinner slide.
Absolutely. With that number of frags, if you lose, you would be very, very disheartened. I mean, they have 17 defeats already. I mean, the highest we've seen so far is 19, if I'm not wrong. But that's huge. That's huge. 17 is huge. And I mean, if they win it, they'll definitely beat it and go all the way to 21 eliminations. But yeah, Reggie's side, one player has been spotted and is getting naded constantly. However, counter nades are coming in as well. There isn't enough healing for Quantum Rage, which is something that they have to worry about. They have to make sure that they're not falling prey to the coming nades, because revival is not going to be an option anymore. They do have the higher edge here, but again, on a map like Sanhok, the moment you get up, you get shot. And that's exactly what happened. Spark is already down to his knee, and Regicide win their first chicken dinner. And finally, for today, we see one team coming up that has never shown up on the charts. And Regicide, congratulations to them. Roshan has been trying since yesterday to go ahead and claim himself something or the other. He is making sure that he gets his name in the top players. So now that they have already gotten a chicken, kudos.
Yeah, GG's is not an ideal chicken for any of the teams, but 16 points, who say no to that. But this will, eventually improve their position in the overall leaderboard as well. 6th spot overall at the end of day 4, which is a good outing for any of the teams. But guys, we'll be back after a short break. We'll discuss this match afterwards. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
इस रमज़ान पबजी मोबाइल के साथ बांटें अच्छाइयाँ ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन खेलें सिर्फ दिल जीतने के लिए
Welcome back, guys, after a short break, and don't forget to share kindness to everyone around you during this Ramadan. We are back after the post-match 5 of day 4. This is your host, or you can say Caster Essen. Alongside me, I have my host, or you can say Caster Ehana. So, Ehana, welcome back. This has been a rough ride for Team QR, but eventually, they how long they can dodge that death, How long?
Absolutely. It was just so far. But I do know that it is gonna be their MVP. Munyano definitely has to get this one. If he doesn't, I'll be
13
confused.
eliminations. Yeah, and having 13 eliminations. Yeah, he's the same guy.
Oh, okay,
Senior Muniano
okay.
is the
Never
same
mind.
guy. Yeah. Yeah, just have the in-game names different. They're confusing us, but they cannot. You have my support. But
Yes.
13 eliminations, solo eliminations, highest individual damage so far in this PMPL, 1850. This guy has been feeling himself the way he was, picking up frags since the start of the game. I wasn't expecting it to be this big of a number, but still, this is a big number. It's good for Team QR. QR had a very good match, the second last one, and now it's another good match for them. Even Team R3G had the chicken dinner, but the highest number in a match goes to Team QR. But talking about this particular performance, 13 eliminations, 288 healing, just 288 healing. One, I guess he was knocked out twice, I guess so, or once. But overall, individually, this was a very ideal, above ideal performance from any player. 13 solo eliminations. But talking about these top players for this final Sanhok match, fast-paced game, and how is it possible we have top players with less damage? But seeing Wolverine here, definitely I was expecting him. 574 damage. Then Haris sir, Joker sir, with 3 eliminations, 481 damage. We have Spark right next to Muniano, or Senior, you can say, Tayana, with 572 damage. And look at Magnus Esports, and this guy put in each and everything but couldn't get much of the eliminations out of it.
Yup, he does have quite a lot of damage, but he has only 1 elimination for his name. However, we have more numbers to emphasize on the game. We have more statistics to come around, and there it is. Whew. Are we even talking about the whole match or just about Team QR?
I guess we're talking about QR right at this moment. The way they were dominating throughout the match, highest elimination, highest damage, highest assist, and then highest healing done. It's all for Team QR's players. And QR, after winning that match, getting that chicken dinner from Aegon XI8, they are feeling themselves. And the way they have performed in this particular match, I can say that they weren't even in for the win. They were just enjoying themselves out there on the battlefield. But talking about this particular match ranking, they have the highest point, as we were mentioning, 17 eliminations, 23 total points, better than the team who got the chicken dinner. But it is what it is. But Team Tough, I was counting on you, but somehow the mythic powers of Ehana are way stronger than my expectations. So sorry about that, guys.
Well, okay. But I do gotta say, Regicide won the chicken, but Quantum
Yes.
Rage won the hearts. You were talking about play
Yes.
to win hearts this time, and they did exactly that.
Yeah.
They took your
Play
words
to-
to heart, and they did exactly that. It was great. I loved the match. I loved the performance. There was so much to look out for, and they literally served every single, element that needs to be there in the game.
Yeah, but great survival from Seventh Element, but all in vain. They didn't serve much. They're still on the second page, 3 points. But I'm pretty sure that QR had just topped the table on overall leaderboard. But we have to see it on the overall ranking. But talking about team negatives in Team BABLU, I wasn't expecting them to leave this early. But what can I say about team negative? The way two of the guys just took out the whole team. This is not a good sight for any of the fans out there for team negatives. They have to improve. They have to improve their communication and just look for not the obvious mistakes that they made in that particular fight, but they were facing Wolverine, the guy with the great intellect. Look at the way he just changed the angle, and in itself, it was an art piece. That whole fight was an art piece. But we'll move toward the overall ranking before we end the day. But talking about this particular day, Ihana, it was too quick. I'm not sure for you, but for me, I didn't realize it's 1 a.m. in Pakistan. But we just went through 5 matches like nothing happened.
Exactly. It's 1:37 here as well. And I mean, did not realize when time slid by. Honestly, by the time we were on the 3rd and 4th maps, I was confused. I was like, which map are we on? Like, in the middle of the game, I would just strike back to my conscious and be like, okay, am I on the 3rd map or the 4th? They both are Erangel. I have no idea. I do not remember if we saw the 3rd already. And it just went like that for my head. But once we entered Sanhok, I was like, okay, the day is ending. I did not want it to end at all because the day was so power packed, so well delivered. But then the last match, it just raised my expectations for the next one to come because this is absolutely outstanding. QR literally just set the bar for everyone today.
Yeah, especially Muniano, or you can say senior, the way he played, it's another, I would say, goal for other players. He just set up the bar, as you mentioned, pretty high, and we are seeing still Team 7th Element on the top with these 3 points. Yeah, these 3 points were very important because otherwise they would have been dethroned from, first position. Magnus Esports did a wonderful job today. They managed to get on the second spot, closing out the lead, 145, opening it up for everybody to grab. Like we can see, we have 8 teams out of 10 on this particular page with 100 plus points, including Esports. XGeneration is there with 107. Our 3G with this performance have 107 points. Then we have Quantum Rage, a massive change in numbers in a single day, 128 points overall. And I'm pretty sure, Rehana, tomorrow we'll be witnessing them at least in top 3, which by this performance we can expect from them.
Absolutely. But I mean, I'm still, surprised how much wiggle room do you have to create to have one complete bad day and still not be dethroned. I mean, they were hardly making single digit points all through and they still managed to stay on top. It's just impressive. And I'm like, kudos, guys. Even though it's very close now Magnus can literally dethrone them any moment. It's literally a 2-point difference. But I mean, I did not expect this at the end of today.
Yeah, again, I was thinking maybe QR already did the job, but Magnus Esports with that surviving strat and those elimination numbers in the final match, they managed to close it out for them and at a very good and very fair spot for themselves at the second position. But guys, what happened throughout the day, we have to take a look on that part as well. So PMPL Pakistan day 4 for week 1. And we have noticed, new names popping up, and few of the names they weren't popping up previously, especially talking about Esports. Then R3G, as Ihana was wishing at the start of the day, and we saw 3X totally dominating the first match, and the way they laid out the whole, I would say, plan for the first match. It was fantastic to see, and look at those knockouts: 14 knockouts, 17 eliminations. So it's been kind of high number games throughout the day, except the final one for the winner chicken dinner guys. But the guys who were on the top, they did a wonderful job.
They did. They definitely did. But like, yeah, I mean, there was a huge difference coming on between Regicide and QR, because like QR just topped it way further. It was like a 7 point difference between Chicken and second runner up. So it was huge. It was huge. But like, yeah, I mean, we are gonna have to follow all of these teams pretty closely now. Now that new names are coming up, we have more to follow. But alongside that, you all have a lot to follow as well. So go ahead, follow us on our socials and make sure that you're constantly updated, because we know for a fact now that there's gonna be a lot more action coming forward in the last day of this week and then the next week as well. And well, the grand finals. I don't even have to say about it. That's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely, guys, and another nostalgic moment we will witness tomorrow, and that's the comeback of Vikendi in competitive esports. It's been a long time since we last, witnessed that map. So don't forget to follow all these links and make sure to show up on the stream tomorrow as well. So this was your host, Encaster SN. Alongside me, I had the opportunity to cast alongside Ehana. So we'll see you guys tomorrow on the same channel, same broadcast, same time. Till then, take care of yourself and ta-ta. Bye-bye.